Oh shit! I should really open Roll20.
Yo,
Yeah, you
what's
probably
going on,
should.
everyone?
Actually,
That's
Oosty and Dave, you're gonna need to be in here too, you bitches.
Oh, sorry. I thought.
What if I'm too scared?
Is that my internet taking a shit?
If you're too scared, then pucker up your asshole and get fucking with it, dude, because we're going.
It doesn't reassure me at all.
It's just
You're
not
not very,
meant to be.
you're
It's
not
not
very
meant to
good
be.
at this, are you?
That,
You're not very
I
good
will.
at, you're not very good at helping people, are you, Rob?
It's not my job, dude. I'm here to
Rob,
torment
I'm
and
dying.
torture.
Don't worry, it'll be slow.
Yeah,
We're going in raw.
exactly, dude. Raw as a frat boy on a Saturday night. All right. So, in our last session, you all dove into the fortress that the Trebane family had told you about, an ancient holdfast that they had once held in the days of Malaismere back before the Sundering, but has since been lost to them, just like the city, and just like all else. Lord Darko Trebane told you that there was a great darkness infesting the lower levels of this fortress that had taken it over and corrupted the ancient magics of this place. He also told you that there was a grand armory full of all manner of weapons, treasures, and other such things that would aid you on your quest. This was your motivation to come here. So you went there, you did some battle with a few undead, and one of your own fell, as in the course of the fighting, a mind flayer had been drawn to your party and, sneaking on the party invisibly, grabbed the gnome, Ishyours, and nearly killed him. It was Zale who was first to make his way down, chasing after the gnome, and took his place, as it were, as a mind blast shredded the brains of several of you, stunning you into helplessness, and Zale was unfortunately the closest and first to be grabbed. He was killed, his brain devoured, though not without leaving the party the opportunity to get their revenge. In the course of your explorations, you all found a quite eccentric wizard in a well in the courtyard of this place who helped you out, mainly by throwing a lot of fire at things. Quite good at that is your wizard friend, Kildor. At the very tail of the session, you all had finished clearing, quote-unquote, the lower level of the cave, destroying the power source that supplied this arcane barrier over the armory you all had come here for, and several of you now stand in this treasury room. A number of treasures laid out before you, ready to be taken, as it has just occurred to Kildor that you are not done yet, that the Mind Flayer was not the ultimate ruler of this place, but perhaps just a proxy, or maybe even a thrall. There is something else waiting for you down here, something you may need to equip yourselves to deal with.
Hint, hint.
I will go ahead and move you all back to the ground floor of Kais Vakarim, the stronghold. Most of you, actually all of you, stand in this armory, surrounded by treasures, a list of things waiting to be grabbed. I will go over the list with you once more. Standing in one sort of corner of the room, beside one of the arcane pylons, is a massive suit of plate mail, black plates with red trim, sort of pure black, ebony black, with veins of crimson running up and down, coalescing on the breastplate into some kind of interesting runic pattern. On this weapon rack here, there are two interesting weapons. One, a very long spear made of pale white wood, tipped with this spearhead of pure carved bone, as well as a massive crossbow, absolutely fucking huge, made purely of steel, not an ounce of wood to be seen, with 5 giant bolts sitting beside it. There's a chest here, which Morris appears to be standing next to, perhaps getting ready to open up. Sort of dark mahogany with gold trim, quite an ornate-looking thing. Massive pile of gold here, as you all can see, with a few treasures sticking out, almost sort of rising out of the sea of coins. A set of purple scale mail armor, a shirt and skirt and leggings, just sort of sitting there, scattered in bits and pieces throughout the gold. These scales are, of course, purple and iridescent, held beneath the light of Kieran's lantern, sort of refracting and glittering in scintillating patterns. There's a circlet as well, with this sort of mithril circlet with sapphires, emeralds, and rubies inlaid, also among the gold pile. and a ring as well. A gold ring with a number of little arcane patterns inscribed along it, also sitting in the gold. Among the treasures you all also found earlier, there was a ring with these sort of lightning bolts engraved across it. I forget who holds that. I think it's Katu. Could be. Morris, you have a black longsword named Scar
Yep.
in your possession. And Kildor found a carved ruby.
Didn't I also find a spear in the throne room?
Yes, there was a staff, like a
staff,
magical
sorry.
staff with a spearhead.
Yep.
Oh no, I mean it can be used as a spear as well, so that's not inaccurate.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I have it saved as magic staff / spear.
that is about accurate. All right. What would you all like to do as you stand here in this armory room?
Can
Zelcorpse is not with you, by the way. He's out in the courtyard. I just have him there so D can see.
Who's else? One's an illusion.
Can I have a look at this chest before opening it, just to make sure everything looks okay, and then give it see if it opens?
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check. Doesn't appear to be trapped.
Yeah, I'll
It's not locked.
Yep, I'll open
Yeah,
it up
not-
and take a look.
Not locked either as you pop it wide open. Inside is a decent array of coins, platinum and electrum primarily here, as well as a couple other items. You see this sort of rusty, almost corroded, like open-faced helm, sort of like a Corinthian style helm, with no, like, not much of a visor, just sort of a like a nose guard that extends down and eye holes that open up. And you also see a couple of other rings in sort of a little like treasure box or jewel box that's been opened up. 2 golden rings with these runes engraved along them.
I'll just pick them all up for now and
Sure.
get ready to take them into the courtyard so we can sort of spread it all out.
Sounds gravy.
Yeah.
All right. Anything from the rest of you all, or is it more of the same?
Did we get the ring? I do actually have that ring with the lightning bolts. Did we get that identified in the end?
No.
No. The mind flayer came in and kind of interrupted Talir in his casting, and then he didn't really get back to doing that.
How long is it going to take him? Is it 10 minutes or so? Or was
Yeah, as a ritual, he can do it 10 minutes per item.
We were gonna have a rest anyway, weren't we?
Well, Kadu is not in great shape. She's about
Yeah.
half his health. And Kieran, I think you're the same, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
All right. So it's the plan to have a rest then?
Yeah. Are we gonna do a long one before we go? And...
Do we still have the lads outside?
Yep.
around? They're still there.
Yep, your party is sort of gathered out in the courtyard of this place, all sort of spread out in many places. The various enthralled servants that you found down below have also joined your guys out front.
Should we do that?
So we could rest and they could keep watch,
Yeah.
etc., etc. And Talir can,
Identify.
all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I take it that's the plan then?
Unless anyone has any objections.
I know I ritual casted detect magic. I'm not sure if that will have expired by now.
Lasts what, 1 minute or 10?
10 minutes.
When did you last cast it?
When he was in the
So
room with his gear.
Yeah, when I found my stuff and I went down and got.
I mean, I would say yeah, it's still active, maybe at the tail end of it. And as for magic, pretty much all the items I listed give off a pretty strong magical aura.
So there's nothing that hasn't been noticed.
Not really, no.
Okay.
Are you all taking your rest inside the fortress or out?
I think out probably.
I would have said out, yeah.
Okay. I will go ahead and move you all there then. Zale is gone from there.
Well, like inside the courtyard, as it were, like where we.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll ask 1 or 2 of our companions to keep an eye out inside as well.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's say Dennick sets up his bedroll inside the corridor with all the traps, although I assume someone will have pointed that out to him.
Yeah.
Say Gord is out here.
You'd think
Correct.
so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Rookie Jack at this point is no longer poisoned, so I'll remove that from him. The horses take up position on the sides. Julian, with the most seniority of the pack animals, fighting at the two, trying to corral them into their own corner while he takes the bigger space. Sapon is there. He's all healed up. Okay. The rest of you all settle in for your rest, finding various places throughout the courtyard, or maybe in the stables. A fire is set up. What do you all do with Zale?
Burn him.
Does anyone object?
I don't want to sound insensitive, but would Zale have anything useful on him if we're going deeper?
All his magical items, yes. Quite a few. Which you all would know by now are not cannot be destroyed by mundane means like fire.
Let's burn him
let's
with
see.
his stuff and then get the shit out at the end. At least his sword.
He has his goggles of night, a +1 greatsword. Do you have anything else, Zale?
Everything's mundane apart from my longsword and the goggles of night.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Alright. A funeral pyre is set up. Hello, Mr. Kutch. How are you?
Hey, Coach.
Hello.
We've just finished a recap, gone over some of the items you all have found. Feel free to hop in whenever. Well, the party is just about to set sail on fire, as it were.
Kildle will help.
Sorry?
We're not trying to revive him?
No.
Doesn't seem to be the case.
Okay.
His body
So-
is pristine and clean.
I've been overruled.
Hey,
So-
I spoke to you about this. Don't do that.
Lies. They've all gone behind my
I
back.
spoke to you, man.
The lies, the deceit.
I'll fucking screenshot it and bring it up on stream right now.
You know how easy it is to fake things these days.
Fuck off, mate.
So, with the gentle repose, even though he's a charred wreck, we could still bring him back to life later?
No, the gentle repose keeps the body pristine, prevents it from rotting, but if you all are putting on a funeral pyre, it's not going to stop him from burning.
But if he burns, could we still revive him?
No.
Which
you
is
would
committed.
need a wish spell at that point.
Okay.
But
Couldn't you be like, "Oh, kill me, kill me"?
I
Um,
mean, if anyone has any objections to this in character or out, voice them. Absolutely. Hang on just a sec. I'm trying to take a picture of this loot pile because I wrote it in my physical notes, but not on computer.
Well,
Oh,
to be fair,
What's that, Samara? We shouldn't burn the body.
I was going to suggest we should ask her, is there any kind of rituals or rites that should be, performed?
what about those rings that we heard so much about?
I doubt any of them are a ring. Like, even if we brought him back in this body, he would be fucked. His brain was even.
Yeah. But they had a low intelligence score now.
Like, we'd be better off bringing him back with a wish spell. Like, at least
Or
he'd
we
be
could use
brought, but
the
at least
orb.
he'd be brought back as a full, full-fledged Zale with no elf cancer.
He's got like no brain now, right? Like at all. It's just an empty, hollow.
Pretty much, yeah. There's a few like little scraps of gray matter left in there if you want to root
Okay.
and search. But
So, D has been fucking pestering about this for the whole week. I'm genuinely
You're not
curious
gonna
now.
fucking do it.
If I could put the orb in his head and get the orb to control his body.
are you doing this in full view of everyone? Because his corpse is right out
No,
there.
no, we'll do it sneakily.
Okay.
Everybody, look over there.
I mean, okay. If Zale's
We'll
funeral,
become violent if this is done.
Actually,
If-
I'd like to ask the orb. So I'm gonna orb. Could I put you in the body of the big man, Zale?
make an Arcana check.
I'm muting my mic and letting this play out.
Oh boy! Okay, all right, cool. Okay, Kieran, I assume you're finding some dark and shadowy corner to do your whisperings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will note at this point, Morris has seen Kieran use the orb.
I think everybody has.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, almost at this point, Kieran Have you been trying to hide it? I mean, you've been using it
Not
pretty
a,
regularly, but
not at first. Now I kind of have.
okay. So, okay, why don't you make a retroactive stealth check for me for all the times you have tried to conceal it, and we'll just use that as a guideline for how much you all fucking like know. That's a 5.
No, oh yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is like it's not like yeah, that's a natural 1 actually. That's really funny.
Oh, if it's a natural 1, then I get to roll again because I'm a halfling.
Oh, that's correct.
Oh.
That's better.
10.
Ish.
Yeah, no, it's a 10. The natural 20 would be pretty sexy, but anyway, yeah, I mean, at this point, Kieran's tried to be a little furtive, for a little while anyway, but you all have seen him occasionally whispering into this orb, especially as he's been guiding you through the wilderness. There have been a few points where, in a moment of confusion, because even his ranger senses are a little bewildered by this forest, he has pulled this orb from his satchel and held it lovingly and longingly in his hands and almost whispered to it as if it were a close confidant. But, and I would say that stealth check holds for even now, as Kieran somewhat surreptitiously excuses himself to a corner of the courtyard to pull the orb out, but a few of you notice him A, walking off, and B, coming back a few minutes later with this almost manic and fevered gleam in his eyes. Now,
Oh, I think I need a roll on the D10 because I've used it like once today already in game.
I mean, you're just consulting the orb for wisdom.
Okay.
I mean, you can roll the D10 if you want to add to that 22. But I will tell you, you've
No, no,
used
no.
it a couple times today, so it would be another con save.
No, if I don't have to do it, then I won't.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And with a 22 Arcana check, Kieran, taking your time, hiding away, and speaking to this orb, it tells you all sorts of secrets, rituals, rites, means of bringing the dead back to life. You are, in fact, in a hotbed for this place. You've seen the many, many risen corpses scattered throughout this place, many of them in cages, seeming to have been experimented on. There is, in fact, a wellspring of dark, necrotic energy that runs through this place, and the orb seems to know its source deeper within. The orb could serve as a catalyst for one of these necromantic rituals, sort of like a focusing point for that energy, and you could, in fact, bring Zale back. I'd say with that natural 20, you are given an almost uncanny insight into one of these rituals, this series of spells and incantations you could perform, which would cause Zale to rise under your control, or at least the orb's.
Ooh. Alright. And so, just above table, would that give the control of Zale again, or no?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would, but there would be a supernatural influence over his character. So similar to what you have, Kieran. You figure it would be almost like binding Zale to the will of the orb.
Okay. So the above table, are you like wanting to move over to Tarn, or? Because I don't want to be a dick and fuck you over.
He's muted. He wants
He's
us
muted.
to play it out.
He wants. Yep.
Okay, because I know you like want to play it out, but I also don't really want to fuck over any plans you had.
I will say, even if you bring Zale back, there's no obligation for D to like play him. He could just be an NPC under my control, and you can still play Tarn.
Okay, fuck it, we'll do it then.
I mean, this is something you could do, or you could try to do. And I would say with that 10 stealth check, I mean, you all notice as Kieran comes back around the corner of the stables, the orb is not in his hands. It's tucked away in his satchel, but there's a gleam in his eyes. And the way he looks at Zale's corpse as you all are preparing this funeral pyre is unsettling.
Katu is going to stand between the body and Kieran. And if he moves, she'll move to follow and stay between.
Would my detect magic pick up the orb in his satchel?
At this point, it would run out.
Okay, fine.
I mean, you could cast it again if you want. It takes 10 minutes, I think.
No. If I don't know about it, I don't know about it.
Fair enough. So,
Is
Katu
Kat-
stands before you, Kieran.
Is she like looking at me with her back towards the corpse?
No, she's looking at you. She hasn't. She's just a bit suspicious of what's going on. Given you, we saw you kind of, talking to the orb, and now you're coming back looking a little bit dodge.
Hi, Katu. Something the problem?
I don't know. Is there?
Yeah, I'm just, our friend has died. I'm a little bit, in my own way, a bit distraught.
Then surely we should observe whatever rituals he would have wanted. And she'll ask Zamara what the story is there.
How do you mean exactly? Like,
Well, I mean, they grew up together, right? They would be of the same, I presume.
yeah.
I don't know, kind of plan, whatever they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone would know, it would be her.
We were a pragmatic people. The funeral pyre is the only rite we've ever known. Burying corpses in our old forest, well, there are animals that would just dig them up and eat them. So, fire is the purest form of cleanliness, I think. The purest rest.
Then a funeral pyre would be.
Let's get on with it.
Kieran, you feel almost a sense of, like, jealousy and possessiveness as you see them working Zale's corpse, and you know this is going to... They're getting in the way of something grand and glorious. I wouldn't say you feel, like, compelled to act necessarily, but your hands have clenched into fists as you watch them grab Zale's corpse, stack the wood in the center of the courtyard.
Kilda will produce flame into his hand, hold it, and just wait until people are ready if they needed it.
Will you intervene, Kieran, or do you simply watch?
What do I know? What exactly I would have to do to raise his? Like, it'll be obvious, right?
You would need to bring his corpse down below this place to that wellspring of necromantic energy the orb has told you about, in the heart of this fortress. Place Zale in the center of it, place the orb above him, and through the mechanisms of a ritual that the orb has shown to you, you would be able to essentially channel all of that energy into his body and raise him from the dead.
Sorry, I missed the last 30 seconds or so.
Kieran is just, we're just rehashing the exact details of how Kieran would raise Zale's body if he were going to do so.
Look, it's a funny idea, but it's not part of the MO, so I'm not going to do it.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yep. All right. So Kieran, sort of forced to take a step back almost, you watch with a fixed look in your eyes as the procession is done, the wood gathered. The forest in the Savalier Wood is not very good for burning. There's burnable wood to be found, sure, but most of the trees are sort of petrified and ancient, and several of them rotting and dead, yet somehow clinging to life, but dead in such a way that saturates the wood with moisture and fungus and other such things that make it hard to burn. But you make do. Perhaps you break down some walls from the stable, or some other old furniture, maybe a few trees here or there that have some life to them, and eventually a worthy funeral pyre is made. Zale is placed upon it. Zamara undergoes a few last rites, bringing her druidic components out, a few herbs, sprinklings of some materials you all don't quite understand, some gem dust, oddly enough, which he traces down the cold, pale skin of Zale's lifeless body, creating patterns in his skin. Similar, actually, to what Zale did for her when she was dead, when he cast his ritual. Kildor, you hold the flame in your hands on one side of the pyre. Samara goes to the other and produces a flame of her own. And the fire burns, and Zale's body at first does not take well to the flames. The flames almost seem to part around him, his skin appearing to resist the call of the fire, but eventually The skin begins to blacken and scorch, the smell of cooking meat fills the air, and black, thick, oily smoke rises up and up and up into the sky. And before too long, he is gone. Nothing but a pile of boiled fat and ashes and the slagged remains of his weapons and armor, with the exception of his greatsword and the goggles sitting where his head used to be.
So those goggles, what are those goggles?
Goggles of night, they grant dark vision in 60 feet.
Can I claim those?
What if you already have dark vision?
What if I don't?
It doubles your dark vision, doesn't it?
Adds
no,
30
it-
feet, doesn't it?
I think so? I'd have to check, but that sounds about right.
Enhances it in some way.
Yeah, I think it adds. It takes up to 90 feet.
But unless anyone stops him, I assume Kieran will just grab them.
Yeah, I was gonna offer
from
him.
there,
Yeah, I was gonna offer him to Kieran anyway.
Anyone take the greatsword? If not, Zamara will
Yeah, I'll let her.
Fine. claim it. Holding it in her hands, it's a massive blade. Zale was not a small man, and Zamara is about average height for a woman, so Zale would have towered over her. And the greatsword, almost as tall as he was, is an almost comical sight in her small hands. But she holds it up, hefts it, and eventually leans it against the wall of the stables as she sits down beside it and seems to close her eyes in contemplation. The rest of you all, I assume, now that the rites are done, will settle in for your rest, taking up spots in various places within the walls of this courtyard. A watch is set up. Let's say Gord and Rookie Jack take the first half. Let's say, does anyone volunteering for a second watch? You'll need 3 to get through the night.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
Kieran
do
for second.
I'll do second watch as well.
Morris and Kieran on second. Anyone for third?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Morris, Kieran, second watch. Is that Vox and Katu?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
Kildor and Katu? Okay.
Yeah, and Kildor will, during the watch, bring out his research books and his quill and read through and try and recall.
Okay. Got it. I will make perception checks as the night falls. The rest of you all, actually don't take your long rest yet. Hold off on that.
Oh, he's rolling a d20. We want a high number.
Let's see. Gord makes a perception check. That's a 3. Good job, Gord. Rookie Jack makes a perception check. Oh boy.
What?
That's a 5. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna roll a d12. 3. Let's see. Morris, why don't you roll a d20 for me? And let me get my document.
God damn.
11. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hang on, my laptop is being a slow bitch to boot. This may take me a second. Okay.
Morris dies in his sleep.
And Noodle yells, "Oh no, my backup!" and comes in.
You'd be
More
sad. You'd be
for some
sad.
sudden adult death syndrome.
You'd be sad to know that I'm not bringing the jackal in if Morris does die.
You gotta. I'm guessing you're saving him for another campaign.
No, he's going to be a backup for this one, but like above table, the last session made it painfully clear how much we need a spellcaster.
Mm-hmm.
You are welcome.
Oh boy. Okay. Alright.
Oh no, that
the re-
doesn't sound good.
The rest of you all are sleeping, so you do not see this. Yeah, the rest of you all are sleeping. Okay. Morris and Kieran, I need both of you just to make... What would this be? Just make constitution checks for me.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh, buddy.
no.
Okay. Okay. So, you two have both volunteered for the second watch. Part of the principle of a rotating watch is that, the guys on the first watch will go to alert the second, when their time is done, they go in and shake you awake and tell you to get the fuck out there. Gord and Rookie Jack do not do this. And you all, tired and exhausted after the day's events, badly injured, several of you. Morris, I don't know.
I have,
Actually, are
I have
you?
exhaustion
No, I'm at
level
full
1
health.
still.
Full
I have
hit points, yeah.
exhaustion level 1 still, actually.
Yeah,
Just realized.
Kieran, you sleep like a fucking stone. And this was a check, not a save, so it would have been with disadvantage. But I mean, you rolled a 4. I don't give a fuck. So yeah, you all are not woken up for your watch. And you all do not see the blazing aurora in the sky that takes shape. This sort of, almost like the Northern Lights, this shimmering curtain of radiant purple, blue, and green lights hovering in the air. You all do not see Jack and Gord stuck staring at these lights, transfixed, their eyes wide open, no light in their pupils whatsoever, their mouths hung open. Rookie Jack has a thin line of drool dripping down his chin, dropping in beads and droplets upon the earth. Tarn, however, you do see the lights, and immediately you avert your eyes from them. You are a native of the Savalier Wood. You grew up here. Your tribe has made this place their home, this fierce, twisted, corrupt land that you all have had to fight, scrape, and struggle to survive in. And you know this place's dangers like the back of your hands. You know that these are haze lights, and a man who stares into them for longer than half a second, or longer than a few seconds, will become transfixed. Possibly forever, as long as the lights last. So you avert your eyes, and you continue on your way toward the black shape of the keep in the distance, where the battle was fought, where you saw the black plume of smoke rising in the sky, moving, your shield at your side, your sword in its sheath, as you come to the shattered gate, and you see these two sentinels transfixed by the lights, and you see the entire camp laid out before you, full of sleeping people, utterly helpless. If you would like to describe your character for me, Mr. D.
If you were to quantify his size, he'd be about 0.9 Zales. He's a half orc. He's more human looking than orc, though. He doesn't have the traditional tusks at the front, but has pointed ears and pale green skin. He's not quite as thick as a regular orc, but he's still quite muscular, large, and athletic. He's wearing splint mail with high pauldrons, guarding off say direct swipes to his neck, and he has a wolf pelt draped around his waist, and on one arm he has a very ominous looking shield with a spike covered in a bunch of inscriptions, and he has a long sword. He has long hair tied back into sort of a mohawk, and he has a tattoo running down the side of his face.
Excellent.
Sick.
You arrive, stepping through the shattered gates, kicking past stones at your feet. You see the two sentries standing there by the walls, slack-jawed, staring up at the sky. The entire camp. What do you do, Tarn?
I walk up and stand in between the two sentinels, and I survey the camp. I was expecting to find orcs, because that's what he's looking for. And he just looks from side to side, gazes the group. He notices the fire and realizes it must have been some kind of funeral pyre, judging by the way it was laid out. And he simply just announces to the group. You just hear this voice that you might hear when you're asleep.
Excellent guards you have.
Indeed.
I mean, 5 more minutes.
Your voice is deep and powerful, Tarn, as you make this announcement. And in the closed space of this courtyard, most of these people's nerves on edge and wound tight. A lot of them waiting for the slightest provocation to awake. All of you, I would say, wake up to this, and you get up from your bedrolls, look, and you see his shape almost like his shape cast in like an orange glow firelight from the campfire that's still burning, although down to embers now. This imposing half-orc figure just standing there, and the two sentinels to both sides still standing slack-jawed and staring at the sky.
Is anyone awake yet?
Everyone's awake.
I'm gonna bring my greatsword out, I suppose.
Yep.
I think we're all gonna prepare for battle.
Yeah.
Let's roll initiative.
Yep.
He actually rolled initiative.
Yeah.
Kildor will produce flame in his hands and be ready.
Calm yourselves. If I wanted to kill you, I would have gone one by one to each of you. Now, don't look up, but you can see the blue hue across the sky, reflecting on the floor. These are haze lights. And if you all look to either side of me,
He draws his long sword, points it side to side.
these two stared at the sky too long and have become transfixed. You're lucky I found you and not something else. To camp in the Sevalier Wood, you must be either idiots or on a death wish.
Yeah, a bit of both, I would say. What's your
as
name?
As soon as he said, sorry.
My name is Tarn. But first, I think it better to be for all people to be involved in the conversation if we're to have one.
And I'm just going to walk side to side. I'm going to tap Rookie Jack really hard with the flat end of my sword on his shin and do the same to Gord.
Jack feels the tap. You have to tap really hard, not just once but twice, and then his eyes sort of shake, and he looks, and he sees the edge of the sword pressed against his neck, and he jumps back. Ah! Oh crap!
It's okay, Jack. It's okay.
And then he looks up. He sees this stranger in the camp. He sees that all of you are awake now. Oh God! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Gord, on the other hand, also shakes his head, immediately draws his weapon, and then seeing no hostility, despite the sword in your hands, Tarn, just holds it with his hand on the hilt.
As soon as Tarn said don't look up, Kildor immediately just looks up.
Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
I have a question. Is it to do with influencing the mind?
Yes, so you would have advantage. Okay, nice. Yeah, Kildor, you immediately look up and you see the most beautiful sight you've ever seen. These sort of gently shimmering lights just sort of hanging there, curtains, ethereal and radiant and gorgeous. And for a second, you are filled with awe and wonder at the beauty in this world. And you feel it begin to almost take your mind, like you want to keep staring at these lights forever and ever and ever. And eventually, you almost come to like a sense of equilibrium, of balance, as you appreciate the beauty of these lights, but are not drawn into them, are not taken in. It is still one of the most gorgeous sights you have seen and you think that you will ever see in this world. But it does not have you hypnotized.
Is it something that I would have found in some research before, or?
Make an Arcana or History check for me.
I'll do it at disadvantage.
No, not really. In your time in the Savalier Wood, either you may have seen these before, but you can't remember, and time is a little hazy to you anyway right now.
Yeah.
But the rest of you stand, and this stranger still stands before you, having given you this warning of these lights in the sky.
Matthew asks him which one is he? Stupid or a death wish? That was what he said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The latter.
Brings you here.
I search for orcs. It is something I frequently do.
Why?
That is not something I wish to disclose with people I have just met.
Well, seeing as we do have an orc here, maybe you should explain.
Half-orc there is Gord.
Perhaps you would like to check your vision, young sir.
Got to.
Also half orc, haven't I?
Yeah, you are half orc.
Sorry, what was that, Tarn?
Those goggles don't appear to be doing their trick, halfling. She is clearly a half-orc.
What's the difference?
Wow.
Ooh. That just shoots down a look.
Wow, Karen.
Kildor will immediately just sit back down, pull out his research books, and just start writing about what he can see.
Tarn's just making eyes at Kieran.
Moon Eyes? You gonna flirt with our little halfling guy? No. Okay.
Hello, twink.
Yep. Size king.
Well, Tana, I know I am quite a sight for sore eyes, but come on now.
Did last session did Kildor tell us about the voice he heard and like the feeling he had that we aren't done here?
No, I don't think he did.
Nope.
Okay.
You still feel it though, Kildor. This intense driving need to, because there is something missing from you. You are hazy, your mind is a wreck, but you still feel this overwhelming sense of loss and deprivation. Like something has been torn from you, and the only way you'll find it is to go down below into this fortress. And you'll never find it alone. You know that. What awaits you is far too fearsome for you to face on your own.
We haven't seen any orcs here, but we have seen much worse.
I assume that's why you're having a funeral pyre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perhaps we don't need to stand on edge and we can converse properly, like civilized gentlemen.
We're nothing but civilized, if not civilized.
And he's just gonna take a few more steps in.
Easy, Katu. It'll be fine.
Where's the funeral part? It's where Zale is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yep. Although this point his body is gone to ashes.
And Tarn's just gonna walk, and he's just gonna sit down where he is, sling his pack to the side. He has a back sheath scabbard for his sword, and he just slings it off to the side, rests it on one shoulder in front of him.
Some people shy back from you. Samara, still clutching the great sword of Zale's, almost seems to, as if go to wield it, and then it's far too fucking heavy for her, so she puts it aside, but picks up her staff vet, shies back as well. Her hands, you see, curled at her sides, ready to perform arcane incantations. But there's still an air of tension, but their weapons are not actively drawn.
I'm gonna sit down and rest my greatsword across my legs and just face Tarn.
Kildor will finish writing about what he can see in the sky and walk over to the group. We rest, yes. More to discover tomorrow.
Well, what do you mean more? Haven't we picked this place clean now?
No. We find him. We find him tomorrow.
Him?
Huh?
Yes.
Who's
the
him?
emissary.
The emissary. You mentioned him before.
Yes. I will just describe him.
Yes.
I can't remember the exact description, if you want to.
No worries. It is a face that appears several times in your scattered and haunted memory, Kildor. A tall, looming, imperious humanoid figure with skeletal fingers, and for a head, in place of any face that you would recognize, just a great gleaming orb of some kind of glass or crystal, with two glowing pinpricks of light where the eyes might be on a normal person, shining from behind.
Oh, that's definitely not ominous.
Sounds bloody lovely, doesn't it?
Yes, we discover more tomorrow. Sleep now. And I'll produce flame from my hand, relight the campfire, and go back to rest.
Interesting fella.
Would I
Anyway.
have done my 4 hours meditation by now, Verb?
Yeah, I mean, you slept through your watch. I would say you're good to go.
So can I hit that rest?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can feel free. Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm basically just gonna sit and watch Tarn all night, essentially.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Tarn, you would notice this elven figure, lithe and tall with that great sword, still resting across his knees, just sort of watching you.
No animosity or anything, just
Tarn's in a very non-threatening stance, but he's still just looking around, surveying, trying to piece together what everyone's doing here.
Yeah,
So
it
you
is.
do not
That
hunt
image
So you
kind of
do not hunt
pointed at-
orcs.
Not.
What was that, Dave?
I was just saying, looking at the image you've chosen for term, I'm kind of finding it difficult to imagine him not being threatening in any way.
He's got menacing aura all around him. I
Yeah.
can't let this slide.
Yeah.
He's just sitting
He's-
there, menacingly.
Menacingly! Oh,
It's just his genetics. They make him look angrier than he really is.
Hmm.
I promise.
Serious case of resting bitch face. That's all. Yep.
If you grew up in the Savalier, you'd be angry too.
That's fair.
Fair is indeed fair.
What did you
All right.
ask? Town?
You know what? It's been about 30 seconds and I forgot already.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it was just sort of like generally surveying the group and looking around.
Yeah.
And you see, it is a motley crew of various people. A few people who look clearly like former captives, wearing sort of rags and threadbare clothing, looking injured and a little emaciated. This fellow here with shaggy hair that looks like he hasn't seen the sun in quite some time. Several pack animals laden with food. They look very much like a party of expeditioners who happen to have picked up more baggage than they intended. And you're quite familiar. Expeditions move through the Savalier fairly frequently enough that your tribe would have experience with them. People often go through these woods looking for artifacts and knowledge and what have you. But I assume, with the rest of you all still somewhat on edge, will eventually return to your rests, perhaps keeping a close and steady eye on this stranger.
oh, I wanted to talk to Tarn quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't worry, it's not going to be racist, I promise.
Don't worry, I got the K word at the ready if you step out of line.
Oof, it's not going to affect me, but some people might.
I know.
All right. So sorry, you said your name was Tarn? 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 Sorry, what? Tarn.
Yes. Do those pointed ears not work?
Well, it's kind of whatever. Look, where exactly did you come from? As far as I'm aware, no one is really out here apart from other expeditionaries. You don't look like an expeditionary, if you don't mind me saying.
I search for my tribe.
Okay, but that's where did you come from? Like,
I am from here. I am from the Savalier Wood.
okay, anywhere specific? Like, are there other tribes? Is there something we should look out for?
I don't know if you're completely normalizing handing out strategic information to strangers that you've only just met when you're completely outnumbered.
He's got a good point, Kieran.
Wait, you're starting with this guy? Really?
I mean, he makes a
Alright,
good
well.
point. I'm just saying.
Hey, he's a complete fucking stranger. He walks in here with a big fuck off sword.
He's a stranger that makes a good point, though, Kieran.
Yeah, he's a Jesus.
We can have the large scary guy or the midget that talks to an orb.
Oh,
Why
he's
not
not-
both?
For double
Gosh,
the murder.
Gosh, are those voices like wrecking your bait or something?
No.
He's a stranger.
Oh, yeah. And so were you once. And so was I. Look, man, if
Yikes.
he could have killed us. Could have killed all of us.
What's
Were
stopping
you
him
awake?
now?
I mean, all of us. But what stopped him before?
I don't know, but that HP bar's looking pretty tempting.
Take your best shot.
Oh, it would hurt.
Take your best shot.
No.
Look, man.
Ah,
Look, Kieran, I'm
There
gonna
it
watch
is.
him just get some rest.
all right.
All right. And I would assume, does anyone else have anything? Okay. I would assume that throughout the course of the night or your long rest, Talir would go systematically, item by item, with all the loot that you all have collected. And let me finish typing out this list.
Do you want us to role play, or like while everyone's asleep, me and Morris just have general chit chat by the funeral pyre,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna play it out, that's cool.
or
Maybe
we
go-
just cover it all?
So you're thieves then?
I wouldn't say thieves. We're more like we're trying to reclaim something stolen from us.
Hmm.
And
I
this
can
is
sympathise with that.
yeah. It's been pretty tough, not gonna lie. As you pointed out, our friend here died, and that was mildly horrifying, to say the least. And he was a good man.
Was he strong?
Yeah, one of the strongest I know. Knew.
Was he also extremely good looking and funny?
I wouldn't go that far. Dumb as a sack of potatoes.
Yikes.
As well. Love that bit of meta there.
Hmm. My past character, was he awesome and strong and heroic and brave and would never kill an innocent slave owner ever? That's him.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
I saw him kill a man once with a firebomb.
And then he ran away.
Yeah.
He cried. It was crazy.
That sounds fucking awesome.
He was a man of class. He had big pauldrons and a bigger sword.
The world's never seen the like.
Yeah.
All right.
6'8" mammoth man.
So I've put out that list of items. I have just the titles here. I didn't do like item cards for each of them, but whoever wants to claim any of them, just based on the general appearance or what have
I
you.
mean, that
just,
ring of spell storing.
Yes, it is. It is basically a vanilla ring of spell storing. It can store up to 5 spell levels within it, and anyone can cast the spell through the ring, regardless of if they have spellcasting capabilities or not. But
Blue one? Blue one.
Blue one?
So there's 2 ring of spell storings. There's a legendary and there's a rare.
This would be the rare.
Yeah. Acquire attunement. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
All right.
What is the Helm of Endless there?
The Helm of the Endless. Let me go ahead and get that for ya. Where are you? Where are you?
Oh, you really weren't joking about the rings.
The Helm of the Endless. At first glance, this ancient helm appears unremarkable, corroded and weather-worn. However, when a creature that is attuned to the helm, a creature that is attuned to the helm can make a mental command to it, upon which its mantle will activate and the metal will glow a brilliant crimson. While you are attuned to the Helm of the Endless, you have resistance to fire damage. You learn the spells Scorching Ray, Fireball, and Fire Shield. You always have these spells prepared, and you can choose to cast any single one of them from the helm once without expending a spell slot.
Hmm.
What's that Mindstalker scale mail?
Yes. Mindstalker Scale Mail. It is basically +1 armor. It grants you resistance to psychic damage. And when a creature causes you to suffer psychic damage, you can use a reaction to cause that creature to suffer damage equal to the amount dealt to you.
Would I be? Is anyone?
Well, that would have been fucking useful, wouldn't it?
Is anyone opposed to Moorish taking that on?
Zale is.
Zale's dead. He can't talk.
I wear medium armor. Like.
You're Tarn now.
Oh yes, right. Sorry.
Aaron is really, really agitated and doesn't know why.
Something about brains. I don't know.
What's the Skybreaker plate when you get transferred?
Yes, it is a massive suit of heavy armor. Let me go ahead and bring that up.
If no one objects, I'm gonna add that scale mail.
Yes, the Skybreaker plate is it's a heavy suit of plate armor. While you are attuned to it, your strength score increases by 2 and your constitution by 1. but your dexterity decreases by 2, and you have a -5 penalty to stealth checks. You also have advantage on strength checks and saving throws made to avoid being grappled or moved. It also gives you a bonus action that you can use to magnify the armor's weight, which increases your strength score again by 5, but reduces your speed to 0.
I really shouldn't have asked, should I?
The suit is fucking massive. It's easily 9 feet tall. When you go to like wear it, you see that it actually splits open along the back. You're almost meant to step inside of it like a fucking mecha suit. And I would say like you all are not even able to carry it out because it doesn't disassemble. It's still in the treasure room waiting to be
It's
worn.
like a Fallout 4 power suit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Power armor.
Yeah.
I actually can't use it, so.
Yeah, heavy armor is not in your wheelhouse, I believe.
Do you reckon Julian could wear it?
No. No, you cannot.
What if we roll really high?
Anyone else taking a look at anything else?
I'm gonna keep that Staff of Denial on me as well.
Let me bring that up. The Staff of Denial. It can be used as a magical spear with a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls.
Yeah.
It has 10 charges. While you're holding the staff, you can expend charges to cast Counterspell for 3 charges, Dispel Magic for 3 charges, Freedom Movement for 4, and Resilient Sphere for 4. You also have an ability to use a bonus action to expend 1 charge and suppress a magical condition that is affecting a creature that you can see, so that the creature is unaffected by that condition until the end of their next turn.
Yeah, I mean,
Requires attunement, however.
yeah, I'm gonna hook that up. That's fine.
Okay.
Does anyone mind if I take one of the Deathward rings?
You crack on.
These are all homebrew items, so you can just look them up if you want in your inventory. The Deathward Ring requires attunement, but like I said in the chat way back when, basically, if you suffer any attack that causes you to instantly die, you will regain 1 hit point instead of dying, or if you fail 3 death saving throws, you will instead be stabilized, after which the ring is destroyed.
Yeah, as the noob, attunement means... I mean, I know what it means, but like, what's the mechanical?
So every character can attune to up to 3 items, so if you are attuned to the ring, if you have 3 items already, you'll have to drop 1 of them.
And like, does the attunement take time, or is it like you put it on?
I'd say you can do it just over the course of a short rest, which over the course of this long rest, you all would have ample time to attune whatever you want.
I'll do that.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
so
say, could I
it usually
change-
takes about an hour to attune and like an hour to disattune, depending.
Would I be able
But-
to take off my armor? You know, basically do all of it, like attune the new items and move my armor
Yeah.
over and stuff.
Yeah, easy enough. Which leaves a set of half-plate armor.
Yeah, going.
I
It's on my horse. If anyone wants a half plate, I've got a set.
Anyone who's wearing either I think scale mail, it would be a +1 to AC right now.
It's 15 AC base plus 2
50
dex, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, plus max of 2. The Circlet of Ingenuity also requires attunement, but while you wear it, you can choose to learn any cantrip, any single cantrip from any spell list, and then you can change that out at the end of any short or long rest. The White Spine is a 2-handed great spear. Pole arm does... Let me see, I've got it somewhere. It deals an additional 1d8 necrotic damage on a hit, and whenever you cause a creature to suffer necrotic damage, you can use a bonus action to force them to make a con save. If they fail, they start to bleed, and they take an additional 1d8 damage at the start of each turn until they regain hit points.
Nice.
Siegebreaker is a massive fucking crossbow that requires specialized bolts, but it deals an additional 4d10 bludgeoning damage on a hit. It also cannot be wielded from a standing position by anyone with less than 15 strength. If you don't have that, you have to mount it on some kind of stable surface using a bonus action. Actually, no, it's using a straight action. Yeah, but it's a big boy.
I can take that if no one else wants it, but I obviously have a good weapon already, so I don't mind.
I mean, crack on.
You can go ahead and add it to your inventory. MYRAN Siegebreaker.
Sorry. Oh, the crossbow. I thought you were talking about the spear. Then. Apologies.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the spear's there too.
You mean
Big
tit
fucking
spear?
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can use crossbows. At least not properly.
Probably could. I think it's a martial weapon, so I mean, you could use it. Might not be the best for you if your dex score is low, but
With these spells, would I be able to cast them and then take another short rest while everyone's resting?
I mean, you've already taken your trance, so yeah, you absolutely could.
Yeah. Okay, how does it work on D&D Beyond? Or would I just say which ones I've got stored in there?
Yeah, I'd probably tell me in advance and write them down, and then we can track that on our own end.
Okay. Alright, I'll message you.
Okay. Alright, let's see. I assume no one's claimed the plate armor?
I don't think anybody can claim the plate armor.
Yeah.
There's no, well, above table, like, Tarn wouldn't benefit from +2 strength. Plus, he doesn't know what any of this stuff is because you're all like doing it between you. He doesn't know you've all just found it. Because I can't break the 20 strength cap.
Oh, it
So I'm
raises your
hard.
max. It raises your maximum by 2 as well.
Ooh.
Same
Take
with your
it,
con score.
Take it.
Also, Tarn has an arst.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'd
I've literally
say,
just walked in.
It's
yeah,
still in the treasure room.
yeah, the armor is still in the treasure room. I would say like most of this would have actually happened before you wandered in here, actually. So yeah, you do see some people with several magic items by them or on them, but you don't know their origin. For as far as you know, they've always had them.
Oh, above table, I also have some Eyes of Charming and a Pearl of Power, if anyone wants it. They both require attunement.
What's the charm thing do?
You can cast 3 Charm Person level 1 DC 13 save per day.
That sounds like something preacher would not make misuse of.
It probably would, but you know. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and add them. And the Pearl of Power lets you gain back 1 spell slot of level 3 or lower a day.
Oh, I forgot. There's a couple more items. The Ring of Superior Speed. This was your ring, Katu. Superior Agility.
Did I find the 2 warding rings?
Yes, I think Katu took one of them.
Yep. Does anyone else want another? Or does they require attunement, don't they?
They do.
Okay, yeah, no.
Right.
I'll
Let
keep it on me
me-
for now.
Cool. Let me share this. The Ring of Superior Agility. While a creature is attuned to the ring, their walking speed increases by 10 feet, and their dexterity score increases by 1, as does their maximum. And you have a special ability called Lightning Reflexes. As a reaction that you can take immediately after any creature other than you ends its turn, you can choose to take an action, a bonus action, or move up to your speed without provoking attacks of opportunity once per long rest. And that is there to be claimed by anyone who wants it.
I actually wouldn't mind that
Yeah,
if
take it on.
we could.
Go for it.
Homebrew item, you can feel free to add that to your inventory through Manage Inventory, Mr. Kieran.
So who has
So how do I add that charm ring, Ver?
Eyes of Charming.
Yep, so go to Manage Inventory, go to Add Items, and then Filter, and then type in Eyes of Charming, and it should appear. Alright. Okay, the scale mail's been taken by Moorish. Has anyone taken the circlet?
No.
Would anyone like the circlet?
Katu.
What's the circle? Let me check that, sir.
The
Lets you
circlet.
learn. Oh, sorry.
Yep, basically what Dee was about to say. It lets you learn any single cantrip, which you can cast pretty much at will, as that you do with cantrips, and then you can replace that cantrip at the end of a short or long rest. It does require attunement, however.
Okie dokie. Well, if no one else wants it, I suppose I will, yeah.
Yeah, do it, man.
Gives you some magic, which you otherwise wouldn't have any. Uh, has anyone claimed the Helm of the Endless?
Don't believe so.
No.
What does that do?
It is a helm that lets you learn 3 fire spells: Fireball, Fire Shield, and what is the other one? Wall of Fire, was it? Let me find it. Oh, there it is. Fucking hell. There's so many fucking pages. It lets you learn Scorching Ray, Fireball, and Fire Shield. You always have them prepared, and you can choose to cast any of them once from the helm without expending a spell slot. It also gives you resistance to fire damage. Kildor, you feel an amazing surge of envy as you look upon this helm.
Yeah, I mean, I can take it if no one else wants it.
You already know Fireball.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's stopping you. Yeah, go ahead and add that to your
Right.
inventory. Do you have an objection to this, Mr. Kutch?
Oh, I would have taken it if no one else did it. Fireball is a nice spell.
It is. I mean, yeah. Do you? Do you want to take it? Kildor seems to want it as well, but I will leave it between the two of you to decide.
If you're going to make use of it, that's fine. I mean, above table, I am here temporarily.
Yeah, I'll make use of it, sure.
Okay. Yeah, you can again add that as a custom item. Helm of the Endless. Staff of Denial went to Moorish. Spell Storing to Moorish. Circlet to Katu. Scale Mail to Moorish. 2 Death Ward Rings. 1 to Katu. Who took the other one?
I've still got it, but it's going.
Okay. Katu, you took White Spine, right?
Yes.
Anyone taking the big ass fuck off crossbow? Doesn't seem like it.
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Did anybody use it?
Anyone can like shoot it. If your strength score is below 15, you have to use an action to mount it first, and then you can fire it freely, on like a stable surface. If your strength score is above 15, you can fire it standing, but it's a big fucking crossbow.
And then it takes an action to reload it, I guess.
No, you can after you mount it. It just works just like any other heavy crossbow, so you can make 1 attack with it every turn.
Mount
Okay.
it on Julian.
Have a siege.
Actually,
have a
that's
siege
not a bad
weapon.
idea.
Camels have
Siege
humps for a
camel.
reason, dude.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah.
Siege camel.
Yes, the attack camel.
We've already used him in a battle once. Like,
I mean, the DM didn't object to that, so
we'll see how it goes.
Alright. What you typing over there, Dave?
I was going to offer the spined whip to anyone who wants it.
Ah.
A few weapons now, so I don't want to be,
No, just hoard them, man.
Yeah, hoarder, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I do. To be fair, I do have this longsword, which above table I'm giving to Tarn. I've already spoken to DM.
Oh no!
Oh no! But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't looked up the details already, Tarn, you can find Scar as a custom item and add that in.
Danker.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Without belaboring the point too much, I'll say, Katsu, why don't you go ahead and add the Siegebreaker to your, Julian's inventory or something, and then if anyone wants it later for just to use, they can just grab it off the camel. Siege camel. And likewise, Kildor, I don't think I made it on a D&D Beyond item, but I sent you the journal entry on Roll20, so you have that gem, and then you can use it whenever.
I custom itemed it and put the description inside of it.
Nice. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. For a total of 5d10 damage per hit, that crossbow. Plus dex. Alright. Okay. Have all of you finished attuning your items and shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have anyway.
Is the long rest done now as well?
Yes, go ahead and take your long rest, guys. Well deserved.
And I can swap spells out too, can't I?
Yes. Yes. Any prepared casters, I would do this now while you have the opportunity.
Full damage, full healing.
Hell yeah.
I will say now that the greatsword is gone. Moorish would have just like fizzed it out of existence and then spent some time looking over lovingly at this new spear that he has, or staff.
I suppose because I don't think the item works for it as is, but Morris, you can go ahead and add a +2 spear into your inventory and then make that your packed weapon, if you want to use the staff as such.
+2 spear.
I will also say it's a versatile weapon, so it leaves one of your hands free now.
Yeah. Might think about getting a thing. What is it? Spear. +2 spear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me know when you were all good to go.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, good to go.
Yeah. all good.
Yes.
Yeah, good to go.
Excellent. Okay. All right. You all come and wake up in the morning, standing or sitting in the courtyard of this place. The dawn light is watery. The sky above is overcast and gray and very, very murky. Kildor, last night, with his very enigmatic way of speaking, told you of yet another danger lying below this place. The thought occurs to several of you that you're not actually obligated to do this. You have your weapons, you have what you came for. You've already lost one person. Do you really have to keep pressing forward?
Will Kildor have remembered anything else during the night? Or
Anything in particular you'd like to remember?
any more information on what we could find or benefits of finding it without...
Interesting. Well, I would say what you remember most of all is how exactly, or at least the part of yourself that is missing. You seem to have this intense image of these 5 crystal orbs set in like a circle. And whatever you're missing is contained in one of these orbs, and it's also down there in the center of this place. But as for exactly what you might get out of confronting this creature, you don't know any more than you did last night.
Okay. So when Kildor awakes, he will spend some time ritual casting Unseen Servant. And people will wake to find Kildor around the campfire. And magically, food is just moving around in the air as the Unseen Servant is just preparing food for everyone. And it will just float over to each of you.
It's a very odd and interesting sight, seeing these hunks of sliced bread toasted over a fire, seemingly by themselves, just sort of floating there, the brown crust browning nicely, and then floating over to you, Morish and Tarn and Ish, and well, yeah, food gradually just floating and doling itself out to you all.
We go deeper, yes? We find the emissary and the crystals.
Crystals, huh?
Yes.
Why do we want to find this emissary? He sounds quite menacing.
He's taken Kildor's mind.
Uh-huh. Keep going.
Kildor think it's in a crystal. Destroy crystals, yes?
I suppose we could.
All right. So where exactly is this emissary?
You know the way, Kildor.
Okay.
Almost by instinct, you could lead them. You know it. You're certain of it.
I show you. Eat, then we leave.
I'm gonna look at Tarn, like, you joining us? Root out some evil from this godforsaken place.
Hold on, let's also not forget we're on a time crunch here. If Mr. fucking Lux gets to the ruins before us.
Also, I would like to point out, Lord Darko Trebane did ask us to clear the entire place. I'd feel like he would be unimpressed if we didn't do what we said we were going to do in exchange for all these fancy new items that we've got. And if this man says,
Emissary.
if he says he's here, then he's here, and this guy's helped us out. Let's not forget he got us out of a fucking pickle yesterday.
Your
That is
party is
to go
down
forward.
one. Do you require assistance?
Yes, we do, and it's gonna be probably dangerous. So I'm gonna root in my bag and in-game give Tarn Scar. So take this.
He just holds it on his hand, flips it around, tests the weight, swings it through the air.
It is a remarkably well-balanced longsword, Tarn. This pure black double-edged blade. It almost seems to, when you hold it in the right light, you see a faint purplish sheen to the steel. And holding it in your hands, you feel this aura around it. It feels almost oily as you hold it, but your grip is strong and sure.
A fine blade. I thank you.
And then he just, as it's a short sword, so it's a bit short, he has on the inside of his shield where I think he just slots it into a scabbard that's like on the inside of his shield. So he's got one scabbard on his back for his longsword, and he's got one on the inside of his shield for the short sword.
Nice.
Jesus, I can't speak today.
He's channeling the inner
assist.
orc.
If only I may partake in other spoils that we find.
That sounds good.
Right?
Very well. Lead the way.
And you go down the corridor.
Just before,
Yep.
I'm gonna hang back a second and let everyone go in. Wait till it's kind of, half empty and sort of stand over where Zale was and just be like, I'm sorry. I'll get it done. I swear. And then I'm gonna head in.
Kildor will cast dancing lights, and 4 fiery orbs will just rotate around him and lead the way in.
Through this dark, desolate place, through these corridors filled with slain corpses, past the place where Zale died, his blood still sunk into the ground, a maroon, dried stain. Down and down and down you go, through the corridors, until Kildor comes to a spot. It just looks like a wall like any other. Smooth stone, sheer, masoned walls, but Kildor puts his hands on the stone and the hand phases right through. And you all are led into a long and winding tunnel that stretches and stretches and stretches. You walk for a long time in relative silence, the dim lights of the dancing lights flickering overhead, these burning spheres of bright flame. Eventually, the carved stone levels out into, well, it begins to smooth, and the rough, natural curvature of the cavern, this tunnel you're walking through, also begins to smooth and straighten. Geometry forms amid the stones. Natural granite becomes brickwork. A clear and manufactured tunnel emerges before you straight ahead until you come to these curving double doors, as if there is a massive, spherical chamber beyond these doors. The doors curve inward and come to a stop in front of you, the handles before you. And then, as you approach, the doors swing open of their own accord, revealing a chamber. A massive circular chamber with this sort of circular half wall running the perimeter, connecting to these stone circular plinths, upon which are mounted these 5 crystals, these bluish green orbs that swirl with their own torrential light. There are square-ish iron cages set in a pentagram pattern, with corpses suspended within them, arms slack held up by ropes and chains. 5 crystal pillars surround a circle, upon which stands no, not stands, floats. The creature that Kildor described to you. Humanoid shaped, holding a staff in his hands, a glass sphere for a head, floating gently in this place. And as you all enter, the light behind his glass spherical head flares. Let me place all of you down. Moorish. Katu. Not Zale. Zale is dead. Tarn.
Cheers.
Rub it
Thanks.
in.
Thanks. I speak nothing but the truth. And of course, the immaculate Sir Kildor. Alright, Kildor, you are the first to enter as you stand before this creature. It floats serenely in the air above you, staff in one hand, the other skeletal palm held open. You intruder! Leave this place, or you will fall and fuel my ascension.
You take Kildor's mind. You.
And as you say this, lights, the crystal orbs flare with arcane energy as barriers, these swirling, circular, radial spheres of energy begin to pop, emerge into life. Around this one here, a storm of electrical power. Around this one, a surging circular barrier of wind and storming energy. Around this one, a pure orb of frost. One of acid, and one of fire at the very top. The lights in these orbs flare with this purple light as a ray of light shoots from each orb to the next, connecting them in this converging pentagram pattern. And that same purple light shoots out and begins to feed the crystal pillars and shoot to the emissary as this spherical barrier forms around his shape, almost like a sphere of glass, subtly warping the light as it appears, surrounding him. I would like all of you to roll initiative. Yeah, I would like all of you to roll initiative. Let me bring up the turn tracker. Oh, never mind. I need to clear it.
Can I tell anything about the magic that's being used?
Make an Arcana check. Right. Morris, Kieran, and Tarn, I need you to roll again, and then I will fix it.
Boo.
Always sucks. Always sucks.
Always the way.
19. Alright. Tarn. Go ahead and roll again for me, Tarn. Katsu, I don't see yours in here either, so I need you to roll one more time.
I got a 4.
I see that.
Before we start this, can I go to the toilet quick?
Yes, actually, anyone who needs to take a break, do so now. Let me go ahead and put something. Yeah, okay, let's try this. Let's see. I still don't see you in here, Katsu. Go ahead and roll again for me.
Make sure you've clicked your pawn. There you go.
Unfortunately, it's
still
a 4.
4.
Yep. Would be nice if it weren't, huh? Roll initiative. Oh, 16. Sexy.
Okay,
Why would you?
back in
You
a
shouldn't be
sec.
rolling your initiative at disadvantage.
Oh, no. The Arcana check that you asked me to do.
Yep. 13, huh?
Do I not get to keep my 17 verb?
Oh, did I not change that over? Yeah, that should be 17.
You. Thank you.
Okay. You are quite welcome, sir. Buddy, you get to go act ahead. Alright, nice. Okay, I will wait for the others to return before we continue.
Yeah, no problem. I will just cough and sneeze and die. I would like to say already props on this encounter. This looks sick as fuck.
It does. It's awesome.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet,
Oh
boys.
god. Stop saying that.
Oh boy.
What did you get on your Arcana check, Kildor?
I roll at disadvantage, so I got 13. The second roll was a natural 20.
Of course.
It always sucks, dude.
Of course.
And the best part is it was my choice.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. All right. Everyone good to go?
I mean,
Yes.
is everyone here?
All right.
Coach Dave?
I'm ready to
Yep.
die. Let's do this.
Okay.
Okay. Jesus.
Okay. I will say, Kildor, as right off the bat, as you enter this chamber and look and try to ascertain the nature of this magic, you know, as seems to be fairly evident by the lines of psychic energy shooting between the crystals and then feeding into the emissary, that there's some kind of power being fed to this creature from the orbs. With a 13, all you see about these barriers, these elemental barriers surrounding each orb, you can't really tell. You can only tell that they are clearly elemental in nature. You're not sure how to neutralize them or what the solution would be. But that's immediately what knowledge you have. You don't even have time to say it as the lights flare, and Kieran, you're the first to act. Your reflex is honed and ready.
Do these orbs look fragile? Or these crystals, I mean.
These ones are actually the ones that are these ones surrounded by the barriers, and they look like solid hunks of crystal. They don't look eminently fragile, no, but
Okay,
they
so
don't.
what are-
Also,
what
they
are
also don't look
these-
immensely tough. They
what are
are
these?
also. They're also pillar. They're actually pillars, not orbs or anything. They sort of
Okay.
shoot straight up to the ceiling, but they do seem to be made of some kind of glass-like material.
Does it look breakable?
These ones, yes. These ones, not nearly as much. Not with
These ones
arrows,
are
anyway.
They are shielded.
Yes, they are hidden behind elemental barriers that you can see the orbs through, but there's this like swirling corona of lightning, force, acid, frost, and fire.
Okay. Kind of wish I had some sort of spells now. Okay. Let's take a step forward.
Okay.
Is he's shielded? You said like he's got a barrier around him.
Yes, there's this swirling, not swirling, this pure like spherical radius of almost like like the light is bending and warping around him.
Yeah, there is always the orb. What am I gonna do? Throw it at the fucking
Make an
things?
ask it how to disable the things.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate the TM. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna. Yeah, like I'm just gonna take a wild shot and see if I can dismantle one of the crystals in this one.
Okay. What exactly are you doing?
Like, just describe it. It's like pillars with a crystal on top, right? Surrounded by a magic kind of
Yeah.
swirl.
There's sort of these like stone circular platforms that the crystals are resting on, and then they are standing on like these little plinths, these little stone stands. Then the crystals themselves are on top, and surrounding the whole thing is this swirling radius of lightning.
Does the swirl go all the way to the roof?
It's sort of like a sphere, so it curves above the orb and forms a dome.
How quickly is it going?
Quicker than the eye can track.
Okay. I'm gonna try to shoot an arrow into like the side so it gets caught in the magic and hopefully gets kind of pushed into the crystal. That makes sense? Almost like it's getting caught in the tide.
Yeah, okay, and then sort of like use the like force of it to deflect into the crystal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can use a normal arrow to specify.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Just normal or with disadvantage?
Just a
It's a
normal
short
attack
sword,
roll.
sorry.
It's all good.
Sword.
All good. I think it's the same bonus either way, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, right. Cool. Short bow. Oh, right, because of archery. 11 unfortunately misses as you fire at the orb, and the lightning enters as soon as it touches the lightning, the arrow is instantly vaporized.
Okay, I'm gonna try again with the second attack.
Okay.
Oof.
Natural 20. All right. The arrow strikes the lightning. With a natural 20, I would tell you anything less than a natural 20 would be the same fucking result. But I will say, go ahead and roll damage. As you find the perfect seam to shoot through. Okay, so 6 damage total. Yeah, I would say it doesn't have resistance to piercing or anything. Yep, the arrow managed to find the perfect, almost as if like threading a needle through a fucking bunch of hay bales that have been agitated by a fucking thunderstorm. Just swirling and swirling, but somehow you find that perfect point to shoot the arrow through the lightning, and it strikes the orb and deals 6 points of damage to it. Deflecting, you see a slight crack in the glass
With the
form
crit not
through the
guarantee
lightning.
full damage.
Actually, you're right. You're right. So that would be what? A
10, I
d6.
think, right?
10 plus a d6. Slash roll 10 plus d6. Yeah. So go ahead and roll that.
Sorry, roll. What? Sorry, 10 plus d6.
Slash roll 1d6 plus 10. Yeah. Actually, I can do it. Ooh, 15. Oh, we got the same
Wow.
result. Nice.
Hey,
Yeah. So actually, quite a bit more damage than that, as a spiderweb of cracks forms across this orb instantly, and you can see you've actually dealt quite a bit of damage to it.
okay,
Alright.
cool.
Anything else
I'll
for your
point
turn,
out-
Kieran?
Definitely gonna point out that it's a bit more cracked. That's. Hold on.
Okay.
My turn.
All right, cool. At the end of your turn, the emissary is going to use a legendary action. It is going to use Warp Step to teleport to within 5 feet of an intact phylactery. So it is going to appear right there within and behind the swirling barrier of force of this phylactery here. And that is the end of its legendary action. Tarn, it is your go.
I don't think.
Being a fighter is fun until you get to this situation. Like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah, it's like I clearly can't get through these barriers. I don't want to swing my sword against the barriers because the crystal's high up and I'm not going to hit anything.
Oh fuck, dude! I'll tell you a story about my IRL game once we're done with this session.
What the fuck can I do here? This is evil. I love it.
Any of your items have magic damage?
Scar. That's about it.
What does it do?
Psychic.
But it's a magic item, isn't it?
Mm. And they can't be destroyed by normal means, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna move.
I mean, as far as you saw, an arrow went through and hit a crystal.
Yeah.
Just
So I'm
saying.
just gonna move up to this wall, so I can clearly see there's a wall, and he's on
Yes.
the side. But
Yes.
I'm still gonna try and swing, so like the blade intersects the barrier in him, so I'm swinging for him.
Okay. Make an attack roll. 28! Holy shit, dude. Holy fuck. Okay. Wow.
Tarn gets
Nice.
crits on 19s, doesn't he?
Let's fucking
does.
go.
He
over the
absolutely
Discord
does.
High five.
I also add an extra D8 from because I'm half orc.
That's fucking yeah. Okay, so all right. I assume you're attacking it with one hand, so it's 8 plus 4 from the D4 of Scar, 20 plus your strength mod, which is 25. So go ahead and roll. Slash roll 25 plus 1d8 plus 1d4 plus 1d plus another d8. Actually, I'll just roll it for you. Easier that way. Total of 37 points of damage. And I would say, similar to Kieran, your attack should not go through as you immediately swing and stab forward through this swirling barrier. You feel the force of this swirling wind or force or energy or something immediately begin to pull at your grip, almost threatening to wrench the sword out of your hand and possibly gone from you forever, maybe pulling the rest of your body with it. But your strength is almost supernatural, Tarn, as you press forward and hold tight to the blade and thrust through, and even the swirling barrier that surrounds this creature, this sort of almost like it is warping reality itself in a sphere, you cut straight through and pierce the thing straight in its fucking chest. Let's see. It has resistance to all damage except radiant and psychic while its barrier is up. So that's a total of. First, we'll cut that in half, so 18, and then add 4 from the psychic at 5, so 23 damage total after the resistance. Quite actually a pretty decent hit against this creature. Its barrier is up, and you cut through, and you can tell immediately with your warrior's instincts that it is. Once its defenses are down, it itself is probably not the toughest creature in the universe.
It's just getting the defenses down, but I don't think I have anything to counteract the magic. So all I can do is swing and hope. Also, because of my slasher feat, he's wounded until his next. He's wounded and gets disadvantage on his attacks.
Let me check your sheet to be sure, but that sounds about right. Which is pretty actually handy as you're coming up on his turn right away. Yep, disadvantage on all attack rolls
until my next turn, I think.
Until your next turn.
You'll have to check it. It's either his next turn or my next turn, but it wouldn't make sense if it was his next turn.
Yep, until the start of your next turn, the target has disadvantage. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Fucking
so I've got 2 more attacks.
This is 2 more. You have
Great Weapon Master, baby.
Ah, that's true. You son of a bitch. Roll.
Oh, motherfucker.
I knew that was coming.
Silvery Bobs. I'm kidding.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, okay. That first strike is strong and true and straight, and you thrust through and stab into the chest of this creature, piercing the reality warping barrier that surrounds it. And then as you pull back and go to strike again, you strike full on into the barrier, and the swirling force rips the sword out of your hands as the black longsword is caught in the sphere and then flung. I'm going to roll a d8 to determine the direction. 1d8. 2, so that would be right there, and I will say it's flung right there.
Okay.
Let me just go ahead and draw that. That's your longsword, that purple bit.
So seeing that, he just quickly reaches back over, grabs his longsword, which.
Oh, you actually have 2. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I do have 2 swords. And
He's the guy from the Matrix who like fucking takes out all the guns.
I need guns, lots of guns.
24 misses.
I assume that does. Yeah, I assume that does nothing.
Yeah. It's not a natural 1, so I'd say you're just barely able to hold on to your sword as you strike through the barrier, and it almost threatens to rip your hand off. But you have to. Your strike is completely deflected.
And that's my turn.
All right. The emissary. You're right next to him, Tarn. No, it's not gonna do that. It's not gonna do that. It will, however. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It is going to float ethereally out of the barrier, unharmed by it. You can make an attack of opportunity against it if you like.
Isn't its movement reduced by 10 feet as well?
By 10 feet, yes. Does that affect its walking speed? Because it has a fly speed. It is hovering. Or is it just speed? Oh, just speed. So yeah, 50 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It is now within 30 feet of all of you. Immediately, 13 misses as you strike, and you seem to come in contact. You're about to strike the flesh or the robes or whatever the fuck this thing is, and then the blade is deflected by a force you cannot see, just gliding off the edge of its spherical barrier. And then, as it passes by, it stands before all of you. It rises into the air, and then that sphere of swirling energy around it begins to take on a bright, radiant glow. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
DC 18.
Ask
So
what kind of attack this is.
this is not a spell. It is just a blinding flare of light that shoots and sears into all of your eyeballs. Kieran, a 17 would fail. You can tap your orb if you want.
Yes.
Is it
All right.
is it mind based?
It does not influence the mind, no. Kieran, you succeed. Ish, you succeed. So you both take 13 points of damage. It's 26 to the rest of you, and you are blinded until the end of your next turn. All right. What's a good effect for blinded?
Just black out their token.
We'll go with this ninja icon. Yeah.
I think Zale's a bit more than blinded.
Who's that?
You
Look,
succeeded.
look at the chat thing. I just modified. I just turned on
Zale-
blinded for Khan. Zale
Nice.
is blinded. No, oops.
Yep. All right. The emissary immediately shines out this light and scorches all of you, dealing an extreme bit of harm. And then it is going to float away. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. It can cast any spell of second level or lower as a bonus action.
Jesus.
So it's
Huh.
going to cast. Oh boy, I have a lot of options here, don't I?
Hit me with your best shot. I'm not scared.
Who does it see as the biggest threat right now? It can tell Kildor is a wizard. It doesn't like wizards. It's gonna cast Scorching Ray at you, Kildor.
Counter
Okay,
spell.
You are blinded and cannot see.
Oh.
It doesn't specify seeing a spell.
Uh,
It says you attempt to interrupt a creature in the process of casting a spell. Oh, you
So,
see a
it
creature.
says-
no,
it says
does,
verbal
does.
components.
Sorry, my bad. No, I'm wrong.
Oh no, okay, never
It
mind.
does say in the top casting time. I missed that.
one reaction which you take when you see a creature within 60
yeah.
feet of you casting
Yeah,
a spell.
no,
Yeah.
My bad.
Actually, if you make a perception check for me, Kildor. I will say if you can hear the sound of verbal component, it doesn't have verbal components. Shit, it's just somatic.
no,
Yeah, okay.
I'm
I'm sorry, buddy.
Can
I'm
you,
blind
can you
now, so-
hear it swishing its hands to the wind?
I wouldn't be able to see
It-
where it was coming from. It's fine.
It
I
is
can't
making
tell.
its attacks at disadvantage though. So
That's true. That's true. And you
Yeah.
have
Wait,
shield
it's
as well.
attacks as well. Jeez.
But I am
14,
blinded.
15, and 23. I will
They
say,
all-
I will allow you to cast shield here if you want. I would say you have enough wherewithal to sense the incoming attacks. I mean, the casting is silent. The scorching rays of fire shooting out toward you are not.
Okay, then yeah, I will cast shield.
Okay. How many of those miss with your new AC?
It would be 9. One of them hits.
One of them hits. All right, so you take, I assume the last one. So you take 6 points of fire damage as you cast your shield, and the flames, 2 of the rays dissipate off of the shell of arcane energy, and 1 shoots through and pierces your chest and scorches you. You have resistance to fire damage, don't you?
I do, yes.
Only 3 points of fire damage then. All right, and that is the end of the emissary's turn. Kildor, it is yours. You are blinded as you immediately, reflexively deflect this shell that's covering you.
Okay. I don't really know what to do with blinded, to be honest.
You are, well, you can't see anything. The whole room is black to you, but you have enough, you can hear things, so I would say you can tell where the barriers are, these swirling electrical and forceful barriers around these orbs, and you have just deflected the attack coming from ahead of you. I would say if you were to take a step forward, you would come up against that stone half wall, which does count as cover for the rest of you. I'll get +2 to AC and dex saves.
So is this a shield?
It is,
Rather
you
than-
can't, I would say you guys don't know. You just see this, it's not like a whole like wall or anything, it's just this shooting ray of psychic energy connecting the orbs. You could duck under it if you wanted to.
Okay. Then I will move up until I guess I feel the stone.
You do. Hands on it, patting your way through like a blind man.
I will use my bonus action to use the gem of arcane amplification.
Okay. So until the end, for 1 minute or until you cast a spell, your spell save DC and spell attack increased by 5.
And I won't have heard him move, will I? I won't have any idea where he is.
No, you would not.
Then I will cast Flaming Sphere. Is
Okay.
that one? Yeah, on the closest. I guess this one. I would remember sort of where this was.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me. Add your intelligence modifier.
Oh yeah.
7. Your intelligence, what is that? +5 or +4?
+4.
11. Okay. I would say you are not able to get the flaming sphere within the barrier. You would have you would need to see the point, and B, you would going blindly. It's like rough extrapolation trying to get the sphere to appear just right. I will say you managed to get it like right here. And it burns and roils against the shell of electricity, but doesn't appear to have much effect on it otherwise.
Okay. That's the end of my turn, I guess.
All right, got it. It's yours. It is your go, as you immediately see all your friends get blinded as you have to shield your eyes against this flare of radiance.
Apart from me.
Apart from you and Kieran.
So, what size are these orbs?
They're about the size. They're fairly big. I'd say like 2 feet in diameter.
Yeah. Okay. And what about the head on your man? How big's that?
The head on the man, it's decently big, like a foot in diameter. Just a pure sphere.
Is it detachable?
Yeah, you have no idea.
Why don't you go find out?
Are the orbs and the pillars detachable?
So the orbs, I mean, as far as you can see, these orbs are just set in stone plinths. You're not sure if they're detachable or not, and these pillars, they do appear to be bedded in the ground and shooting all the way up to the ceiling.
Okay. And which one was the fire and the ice?
Ice is up here. Fire is way at the top.
Right. Okay, this might not work, but I would like to move up to the emissary
Okay.
and try and swap his head with the Orb of Wonder. Orb of Laughter.
Okay. Okay, hang on.
Man.
How are you
wow.
How are you attempting this? What physically is Ish doing?
He's getting the Orb of Laughter out, and he's gonna smash it into the emissary's head to try and displace the current orb, and replace it with the Orb of Laughter.
And you're sure you want to do this?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I've
make
never
an
been more sure in my life, baby.
make an attack roll for me, just a straight attack roll.
D20.
D20 plus strength plus proficiency. Actually, you're not proficient in unarmed improvised weapons, are you? So D20 plus strength.
So just roll D20 and add 2.
Yes. 15 total. Does not hit, unfortunately. As you try to grab your Orb of Laughter and try to shunt it up toward this creature's face, this thing is very tall. Even just standing on the ground, it is probably at least like 6.5 feet tall, with up to the full height of the orb. You're not that tall-ish, and it is not standing. It is flying. But you jump up and you do your best to try and reach for its head, and you thrust the orb forward, and you come in contact with an invisible sphere plane of force that completely throws off your aim and goes wide.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you do for your turn, Mr. Ishiors?
No, I can't do anything else.
Okay. At the end of its turn, it's going to use a legendary action and do Touch of Entropy against you. As it reaches its hand forward, its skeletal singular hand. It has disadvantage on the attack roll because of Tarn. Total of 20.
That would hit.
You take 27 points of necrotic damage, and you need to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma?
Charisma.
I don't have any charisma.
Like, jeez.
Oh, buddies. 21! Alright! You take half as much damage, so only 13 points of necrotic damage. And immediately as its hand reaches out and touches you, you feel your body wither and begin to age, accelerating faster and faster and faster. The wrinkles forming, and then somehow you call on the light of Lathander, and a holy beacon of radiance shines down on you, and you are not aged by 20 years.
Wow.
I
What
would-
it be like?
If Zale were to be hit by that attack, this would have killed him instantly, because he only had 5 years left to live.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh,
What's else?
wow. Jesus Christ. Let the dead man rest in peace.
Yeah, leave-
Unless I
leave
pass
Zale
my
alone.
save.
That's true. That's
Stop!
true.
He's already dead.
Yeah, completely.
We will
All
steal
right.
his brain, and then I will age him.
All right. Morris, it is your turn.
As a bonus action, I'm going to use my staff to get rid of blindness.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yes, he suppressed that for a turn.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of which, hang on. How does the blindness work? Kildor, I don't think you're blinded anymore. It's just till the end of your turn. So you are free of that effect.
Thank God.
All right.
Did that count as a melee attack verb?
Yes.
And did that count as a miss?
No, it hit
No,
you.
it didn't. Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Saved. Never mind.
You would have liked to shoot him, huh?
Yes.
All right. So I would say because the effect ends at the end of your turn anyway, Morris, I'll just remove the blind from you.
Cool. So, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna cast Shatter.
Okay. Targeting
The crystal.
the crystal. Okay. Okay. That's just a point you can see, right? It's not an attack roll.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, it has to make. It's not a point you can see. Let me see. It says a sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range.
Point of your choice within range. Okay, even better. And inanimate objects have inorganic, such as
Crystals
stone,
have,
crystal, and
yeah,
metal.
Yes, sir.
Disadvantage. Okay, cool, cool. Roll that damage.
Okay.
Is that thunder damage or force damage?
It is thunder damage.
The orb is vulnerable to thunder damage. That's a 9. 15.
That's
So
not-
30 points of thunder damage, immediately bypassing the swirling barrier of lightning because you can see through the lightning, and your spell doesn't give a fuck about physical barriers. It's just a fucking sound. And as the shatter rings out, the crystal immediately explodes into a billion fragments of glass. The lightning dissipates, and furthermore, you see the orb, or the spherical barrier surrounding the emissary, weaken slightly. 0.8. Okay. Not sure if you all can see that. Let me delete this as well. Anything else for your turn, Morish?
No, I think I've done everything I can. I've done
Okay,
bonus action
okay.
and full movement, yeah.
Cool. Hang on. What else do I have? As a legendary action, the emissary is going to use Mind Rend. As shimmering beam shoots from an intact phylactery to a creature within 60 feet. You just cast a spell and destroyed one of them, Morris, so it's going to target you.
Okay.
The attack roll is made against you. Disadvantage still because of because of
misses.
Tarn's thing. So 12. Yeah. All right. Shooting from this phylactery here, this shimmering purple beam aims out direct toward you, targeting your head, Morris, as you duck aside and it strikes the stone behind you and scatters into purple particles. Katsu, it is your turn. You're blind.
Yeah, can a creature rush or dash while blinded?
Yes. It's blind movement, but I would say, Katsu, with your battle instinct, you would roughly know where the emissary is.
Okay, and if I... Okay, well, Caddy has noticed that thunder, lightning damage seemed to work, so she's going to just basically dash up to... She can get to a bit there, I think it is.
Okay. You have, what, 80 feet, 40 feet of movement?
40.
So, 80 total, yeah. So just charging straight through. You pass through the, actually, I can't make it disappear, but this beam and this beam would disappear because you've destroyed that phylactery. So no effect happens as you charge straight through. Go ahead and move yourself to where you want to be. That looks good to me. All right. Anything for your bonus, or I don't know if there's anything you can do as a bonus.
I could rage, but I won't yet.
Okay, got it. Kieran, we come back to you.
Okay. 5, 10, sorry there. 15, 20. Okay, these crystals, do they look like they could be... Are they like set, or are they kind of just put there and can be picked up?
They're set. They're sort of, yeah, they're planted in the stone.
Okay, but like, so if I were to cast Levitate on this crystal, and what I want to do is this ring, it's like ice, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, this one is Force.
even better.
Force of
So
thunder.
what I want to do is I want to cast levitate on that crystal, and I want it to hit its own barrier and potentially break it.
Okay, fuck yeah! All right. Make a spellcasting ability modifier check for me as you attempt to channel the magic through your glyph ward blazoned on your hand. We'll see the strength of your spell.
For levitate, it's just a con save. Do you want me to just roll a d20 and add 3 to that then?
Roll a d20, add your wisdom.
Oof.
Oh, nice. 20 total. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say you have to hit its AC, which is exactly 20, so that hits.
Oh!
Yeah, okay, so, Kieran, the glyph on your hand, strong and blazoned there, burning with this arcane light. You raise your hand up and grab the phylactery and begin to lift it, and the stone moorings that it is planted in begin to crack and break as the phylactery lifts up, moving toward the barrier that touches it, and makes impact. That is a force. That is a Constitution saving throw. Oh, boy. Okay. 21, so it only takes half damage. Roll 5d10. It's only vulnerable to thunder damage, it says, but I mean, force and thunder are basically the same thing. So 23 damage total, doing a significant amount of harm to this thing. You see immediately cracks fan out and spray all across the shape of this orb. It's not quite destroyed, but it looks like it's nearly there. And it's still floating there because levitate just keeps it there, doesn't it?
Hold on. One creature, loose object of your choice, you can see within range, rises vertically up to 20 feet. It remains suspended there for the duration. The spell can levitate a target that weighs up to 500 pounds.
Okay.
Yada yada yada. The target can move only by pushing or pulling, but it's an object, so I can't do that.
Yeah. So I would say, while you maintain...
You can change the target's altitude by up to 20 feet in either direction on your turn. If you are the target, you can move up and down. So I can change its altitude on my turn.
On your turn. I would say,
so does that mean I can keep, like, smacking it onto the roof of the barrier?
As long as your concentration is maintained, yes.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, that's your action on this turn, and then if it comes around to your turn again, you can just do that again and probably destroy it outright.
45, 30, 55. Okay, that's me.
35. All right.
Protect me, Tarn!
And just in time, too, as the emissary is going to use its last legendary action. Okay. As a legendary action, Tarn is going to use Destructive Pulse. All creatures within 10 feet of an intact phylactery must make a Constitution saving throw. So that's Tarn, Kieran, just Tarn and Kieran. So, okay, DC 15. Tarn fails. That's 2d6 damage. 2d6. Tarn, you take 7 points of thunder damage, so you're blasted up against the wall and knocked prone. I would say you're moved there as you're there's fine. Knocked prone. Kieran, you take 3 points of thunder damage, and you're not knocked prone, and I need you to make a concentration check.
Okay, let me just take... Oh, no, I wasn't concentrating. Hold on. Is it not working, the roll 20 concentration thing?
Nothing appears to work for me these days.
Okay, let me
so...
just do that then. Okay.
17. Yep, your concentration is maintained. You are fine. Tarn, it is your turn now. 3 points of thunder damage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so he's blind, he's prone, and he's just like, oh, why the fuck did I follow these guys down here? As his action, he's just going to stand up, like clutching his eyes, and he's going to hold his sword to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to run, follow with his tracing his sword along the wall. And he's going to get to about here, and then he's just going to like dive prone against the wall here.
Okay. Got it.
And sorry. As my bonus action, I'm just going to use Second Wind.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and regain some hit points. 5
that's
plus
11.
11 hit points. Much needed, I'm sure. All right. End of your turn there?
Indeed.
Okay. Let's see. You cast that spell. The Emissary. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The Emissary, looking down at you, Issuers, you've just had the audacity to try to strike at it with your feeble mortal hands. It's going to cast Dominate Person. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Counter spell.
Oh, that's right. You can do that. Okay. It's a
don't need
it's a 5th level spell, Kildor. This is true, but Kildor wouldn't know that. It's a 5th level spell, so you need to roll a d20 plus your intelligence, and you need to beat 15 or higher.
So just an intelligence check.
Yes.
Yeah.
24.
Oh,
Okay, nice. As you raise your hand and the counterspell lashes out, and does not, Ish is not, in fact, dominated. And that is a waste of a 5th level spell on his end. Alright.
Third for a 5th, I'll take it.
Yeah, the emissary is going to fall back. Ish, you get a melee attack of opportunity if you wish.
I
5,
wish.
10, 15,
I
20.
wish.
Alright. Its AC is lower because of the, one rune was destroyed. It's going to return to the center. Go ahead and make your attack, Ish. It's going to use a bonus action, and it is going to cast invisibility and vanish from the world.
Counterspell.
Are you within 60 feet?
I am indeed.
He is 55.
Oh, you fucking bitch! Nice. Okay, twice now the emissary attempts to cast magic, and twice it is foiled as Morris, you raise your new spear staff forward and thrust it forward, and the spiraling bolt of destructive energy grapples around the spell the emissary is in the middle of casting and destroys it. It's yours. 23 just barely hits. Roll damage.
What's his DC?
His AC is 23. It was 25 until you destroyed one of those phylacteries. 3 points of bludgeoning damage. It is resistant to all damage until its barrier is completely destroyed, so it only takes 1 point of damage total. But there you go. All right, that is the end of the emissary's turn. Kildor, it is your go.
Okay. Let me just double check. Sorry, I'm prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So this flaming sphere, I can move. I think it's only 30 feet, isn't it?
Let's check. Kildor spells flaming
Yeah,
sphere.
30 feet. Okay. One thing I wanted to ask with the gem.
Mm-hmm.
I casted a spell, but it didn't use an attack roll. Does that still count as?
The wording on the thing is when
Isn't
till you
it?
cast a spell, any spell. Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
used up.
Okay, I'm a dumbass. Okay, that's fine. So I will cast Scorching Ray
Mm-hmm.
at 2nd level
Mm-hmm.
at this orb.
This orb. What's the range on Scorching Ray?
240 feet, because I have.
Oh, right, because you're a fucking spell sniper. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I would say that first ray flies perfectly true, and immediately as it strikes the barrier of swirling fire, the fire disappears entirely. And the orb is left exposed. Make 2 more attack rolls. AC of 20, I will warn you. 21 hits.
Whoa.
18 misses. Go ahead and roll damage on that first hit. It has... Unfortunately, it has resistance to fire because it's an orb. So 3 points
actually,
total. You bypass resistance, don't you?
I do.
You motherfucker! I hate you. Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
ignore resistance.
Nice,
And any
nice.
1s or 2, yeah.
Good shit. Okay, was there any ones on that? There was, so that's 7 points of damage total.
And the Flame Warden's eye is built into the spells, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So the attack roll happens automatically as you close your natural organic eye, Kildor, and open up your prosthetic, which is swirling a pure firestorm of an iris there, and the 3 rays shoot out from your eye, trace around these crystal pillars around the emissary, and strike the phylactery. 1 shot destroying the barrier, another one striking true, and another one deflecting harmlessly off of the crystal. Yeah, 2 rays hit. 1 ray hit the barrier. So
okay,
that ray
yeah,
was.
yeah. That's all right. No, that's I just got confused for a second.
No worries.
And then for my bonus action, I will move the orb 30 feet closer to him.
Sounds gravy, my man. Anything else for your turn?
No, that is it.
Okay, hang on. Let me This thing is being uncooperative. Let me put you like that. Cool.
Keep that there so you can see it.
Looks good. All right, that is your turn. At the end of your turn, the emissary is going to use a legendary action to. Hmm. What can I do? What can I do? I can do a lot of things.
Nothing. End your turn.
Okay, it's going to use Dimensional Binding. Katu, as it selects you, it selects a point within range, and everything within a 5-foot radius of that point must make a dex save. So go ahead and make a dexterity save for me.
I think I get +2 to that.
Oh, nice. Okay. Pick a space that your character, that Katsu would jump to immediately as this pocket of energy appears, this warping in the air, subtle, almost like a heat wave. Yep, you can move yourself there, and immediately you don't see much of anything. You just feel like a pressure wave of like a vacuum opening up as air sucks in toward that point where you were standing, and it's almost like all the air in that space disappeared. But yeah, you're not affected by that. Cool. It's yours. It is your turn now.
I will head towards the cold orb, and I will activate. 2 seconds. I can't remember the name of it. The Helm of the Endless for the fire shields with the cold resistance.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. So this. Hang on. So the cold resist. Is that the warm shield or the cold shield?
The cold shields.
The cold shield. Okay. Got it. Got it. So yep. This swirling barrier of flames, of blue flames, erupts around you, ice cold, like sub-zero temperature, just swirling around you. Let me go ahead and put that on you. That's not concentration, is it?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Nice. All right, cool. So you've got that swirling around you.
And that's as far as I can move this turn.
Cool, cool. All right. End of your turn. The emissary is going to use a legendary action and warp step to here. And it's the Morris, you're free to go.
As a bonus, I'm gonna. Oh, I've already used that. Shit. I'm gonna use my second wind.
Okay. Nine. Good roll.
I'm gonna take 2 pot shots with Eldritch Blast at the orb that Kildor shot at.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sexy. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Please. No.
17 misses, unfortunately.
Oh, fuck off.
And the natural one also misses. Yeah.
I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. There.
Okay. End of your turn.
Yeah.
All right. The emissary is gonna, at the end of your turn, use a legendary action and fire a Mind Rend at Katu. No disadvantage anymore. That's a 16 to hit. Does that hit you, Katu?
That hits it.
You take 18 points of psychic damage, and I'm gonna roll a d6 for you. Oh, you would suffer no further adverse effects, just the 18 points. 1 to 2, you would have been blinded. 3 to 4, dazed. You lucky bitch. Okay. As this shimmering bolt of energy strikes you in the head, and now it is your turn as you shake off the effect.
This crystal is still around, right?
Yes. Yep. The barrier surrounding it is gone, but the crystal itself is intact.
Okay, Cat is gonna get in close and take a swing out.
Nice. Go for it.
Disadvantage.
9 misses. 21 hits. Roll damage. What weapon are you using?
Oh, I'm using the wrong one, but it's the same hit DC anyway. So
Okay. You're using the flaming great axe, or?
I meant to be, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. 18 total. Resistant to fire damage, so -3, but total of 15 damage. Striking a pretty substantial blow, driving into one of the cracks already formed by Kildor's attack. Splitting it further, it is looking very badly damaged now, but still intact.
Oh, I meant to ask fire damage, just to be, faithful to the weapon. The way it describes it is when the edge cuts flesh, the blade bursts into flames.
That's true, but I'll say it still works for the purpose of this.
Up to yourself. Gotta mention it.
Sure, absolutely. All right, that it for your turn?
That's it.
Got it. Kieran, it is your go. Mr. Usti.
Boosty.
Apologies. Yeah, apologies. I have to. Okay, so I'm gonna use my action again to levitate. The spell's still going, but I need to use my action to adjust its position. So I'm again gonna use my action to thrust it into its own barrier.
Yep. I'm not even gonna make a save because it has 7 hit points left, and even resistance won't do. Succeeding won't do anything. The crystal phylactery smashes against its own forceful barrier and is destroyed.
Amazing.
Nice.
Let's see, what can I actually do as a bonus action? Not a lot.
Only healing.
Healing as a bonus action.
Would be nice, huh?
Healing
Yeah.
word is, isn't it?
Yeah, like when you gave me the mark, I'm like, cool, what bonus action spells can I use? None. Okay, there's none. Alright, awesome, great. It's all actions.
You picked those spells, man.
I did.
You're
I stand by them. They're good spells. They're just all action spells.
Of
Okay,
course,
that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, that's me.
Sounds gravy. Tarn, it is your turn.
Tarn just looks to his left, sees Scar, and he's gonna shimmy over 10 feet and pick it up.
Okay. It is yours.
Is this barrier gone?
Yes, it is gone. Yep.
Okay, so I move 10 feet to there. So hops over the wall. 5, 10, 15. Instead of that one, I'll move to that one. He's going to move 20 feet into the circle. He's going to start moving. And I've got nothing else I can do, so I'll just end my turn there.
Okay. Coming to the emissary now. It is going to... Oh, its AC decreases by 2 again. So a total of 21 now. Yeah. Yep, that's definitely what it's going to do. It is going to hover and float to within 5 feet of you-ish. And you see it raise its skeletal hand high. And the swirling barrier that surrounds it, this distortion in reality that bends and warps the air, the very fabric of reality itself, compresses into an invisible blade in its hand as it strikes down upon you.
And misses.
Let's see. It's a lot of dice, so it takes a little while to roll after you click it.
That's not concerning at all.
Is it 10d10? Because if it's not, it should probably be fine.
10d2s.
It's 6d12, which actually does fucking miss. Okay. Wow.
So, 2 things. Does my frost shield hurt it?
Let me.
Oh
let me
no, it
see
hits me with a melee attack.
It has to hit you. Okay, so it doesn't
Yeah.
hit you.
So
But you.
I would use the shieldy thing then.
All right, make an attack roll against it as a blade made of pure reality strikes down upon you, and you catch it on your fucking shield and press the trigger.
Ah, shit.
Oh, buddy,
Unlucky.
that does miss, unfortunately.
More
as
than
the actually, hang on, let me check, because it loses when it uses its barrier. When it uses that attack, it loses its defensive barrier until the start of its next turn. So that drops its AC by quite a lot. But
to 7.
not
or
to
11.
7. No, not to 7. I was checking that now. Not to 7. It would drop it to 10, a total of 10. But no, unfortunately not. As you pull the trigger and a blast of buckshot and grape shot and balls and flames shoot out and spray across this thing's face, but unfortunately the lead is deflected. All right, and its barrier is temporarily gone. All right, that is the end of its turn. Kildor, it is your go.
Okay. So I will. Oh, choices. I will use my bonus action to slam the sphere into it.
Hell yeah! What is that? A dex save?
It is 16.
Okay. Temporarily, it has no dex modifier at all, so subtract 5 from this. So 12. Okay. Yeah, that's, what is that, 2d6 damage?
8 damage.
8 damage total. Nice. Its barrier is gone, so it has no resistance to anything right now. Solid damage is a bonus. You still have your main action, of course.
Yeah, and then I will use my main action to cast Chromatic Orb,
Alright.
and I will use acid damage.
I assume you're attacking this guy?
Yes, yeah, this one.
Alright, make an attack roll. Anything, it's a big fucking barrier, so anything other than a natural 1 will hit. 21, yep. You strike the barrier with that swirling ball of acid, and it is destroyed, it is vaporized.
And then I'll turn towards Kieran. Yes, the orb, kill!
Oh,
What?
right, that's a good point. You've destroyed 2 phylacteries. Kildor, roll a d10 and then a d8 for me. Oh, buddy.
Something like that.
Yeah. Nothing happens yet, but as you destroy these phylacteries, you feel, as immediately as each one is destroyed, you feel something radiate out from it in a great wave. This release of energy as the stored energy and magic within each of these phylacteries is released into the world. And you know, in one of these 3 now, your mind is contained. Okay, that is the end of your turn, I take it?
Yes, it is.
The emissary is going to use its legendary action. It is going to cast...
It's gonna cost death.
it can only... It can,
Power word
it can cast...
kill.
It's gonna
It can
cost
cast...
death. It's gonna cost death on Tarn.
It can cast any second level spell or lower as a legendary action, so it doesn't actually have that many options. It only has
Death
what?
light.
It's like 13 first and second level spells in total. But
Counterspell.
you could, you very much could.
If only Tarn could.
Yeah, it's gonna cast heat metal on you, Moorish.
Oh, yeah, counterspell.
You son of a bitch! Why did I give you that fucking
Yeah,
spell?
straight up.
I thought you said cunt spell for a second.
Fun spell. Yeah, there you go.
And I
also
can't
works.
use any more though because I will lose all the magical items from it again. So that was me. Like, we need to take this motherfucker out.
Yeah, nice. Okay, that is the end of its legendary action. It's yours. Have you? Yeah, it was just Kildor's turn. It's yours. It's your turn again.
Okay, so he's still reasonably defenseless.
Yes.
Okay. Can I try my orb replacement surgery again?
Oh my fuck.
Just hit him, man.
I mean,
Fuck, man. No.
I mean, you know that's not gonna work. The first attempt was enough to tell you that in no universe would this ever work. It is
What's
firmly
the-
rooted in its head.
So didn't you lose it? Didn't you
Yeah,
like
the orb
drop it?
flew off.
Did it?
I mean, it's Verb said it put your aim off. I assumed you like dropped it when you hit the shield.
you didn't roll a natural 1, did you? On that
No.
attack?
No,
Okay,
you
yeah,
said
no,
it went like somewhere over here, like to the left of the emissary. I'm
Yeah,
sure you
like
did.
it actually flew
I
off the
assumed-
map and has never been found again. like over there somewhere. I don't know.
All right, roll a d20 for me, Kish. Just a d20. On a high number, you still hold it. That's not a high number. The orb is
Oh,
Holy shit, that's not a high number. Thanks.
the orb is like right there.
where?
That black
no.
spot.
Wait, isn't that the pocket dimension thing?
No, you're thinking of Kieran's. Mine's
Yeah.
is friendly.
Yeah.
No. No, it's fine.
I would
Alright.
like to say that Kildor is very beat up at this point.
What are you doing with your turn, Ish?
Well, I was gonna do something with the orb, but now I can't. Well, I suppose I can retrieve it. Hold on.
You can. You'll provoke an attack of opportunity if you leave, though, or if you
That'll be
leave it
fine.
melee. Okay.
Does it cost an action to pick it up?
No, you can just grab it.
Okay. I will use my action to disengage,
Okay.
grab the orb,
Okay.
and then move closer to the thingy.
Okay. I gotcha. At the end of your turn, it's going to use a legendary action, and it's going to cast invisibility. It's gone. That is its last.
Counterspell.
You fucking bitch! Stop it! Oh wait. It's gonna counterspell your counterspell. I forgot I can do that. Alright. So...
Your counterspell.
I can't even counterspell his counterspell to counter my
No,
counterspell.
I'm gonna
if more...
counterspell. I'm gonna counterspell that counterspell.
You could actually do that, Morris, if you had the charges, but I don't think you do.
I have the charges, but it will lose the property.
I think yeah, that's true. Yeah, it raises up its hand, and as your counterspell shoots out, it shoots out its own counterspell, and the two collide in midair.
Wait,
I'm gonna-
is invisibility something he has to use his hands for?
It uses its action for invisibility. Yes.
Yeah, but is it like is it semantic? 'Cause surely, if it's using its hands to cast invisibility, it can't then counterspell mid cast.
Hang on. Are you within 10 feet of a phylactery?
Invisibility is VSM.
Vox, the DM is not having fun. This is why he's counterspelling.
Hang on. Okay. You know what? Fine.
David
All right.
versus Goliath.
All right. Fine, you son of a bitch. Fine. Yeah. It can't counterspell your counterspell. It does not go invisible. Great job. You fucking howler. You're the worst person
so dead
I've ever
now.
met.
I'm so dead now.
Yep. You definitely are.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm
All
sick
right.
of your shit. I'm gonna
Morris, it's
counterspell
your
counterspell.
go.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh fuck.
it's my
Okay.
bonus to cast Hex
Okay.
on him.
On the emissary.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts at him.
All right. Hell yeah. 15 hits. I mean, you'll hit on anything except a natural one at this point. Yeah, 20 hits. Roll damage. 7. Nice.
7.
And 7. Minus 14. Roll your 2d6 as well.
Ugh.
1.
Oh no.
Damage is damage.
Minus 6 total. Yeah, decent. Pretty decent. Yeah, doing some pretty decent damage to this creature, causing quite a bit of harm. Again, it's not especially tough, especially with its barrier gone right now. You feel as if some solid, concentrated attacks would be enough to take him out. You're not quite there yet, though. Alright, anything else for your turn, Morris? Any movement?
Is there any cover?
The stone wall that you're next to counts as half cover, yes.
Ah, okay, yeah. I'll probably just... Yeah, chill here.
Okay, cool. It has one legendary action left, but it's not going to use that yet. Katsu, it's your turn.
Okay. Kat is going to try and take out this crystal.
Okay.
Fucking browser.
10 misses, unfortunately. 18 also misses. 20 AC.
What a useless sack of shit.
I am sorry, Miss Katsu.
Okay, well in that case, actually no, she won't, because there's a big kind of barrier thing in the way, and she would get hurt, so she won't.
Mm.
I did meant to ask, where these corpses, are they like hanging in? Like,
Yeah, they're sort of suspended by chains in the middle of these iron cages.
so they're not cover.
They are they are not cover.
No, with that attitude.
Jumps up and hangs on. Grand. No, that's it.
Okay, got it. Now at the end of your turn, it will use a legendary action, and it will warp step to within 5 feet of this phylactery right next to you. End of your turn. Kieran, it's your go.
Cool. I'm gonna drop concentration on levitate now, because the item's destroyed. I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the emissary as a bonus action.
Oakley dokley.
first level, and then I'm going to take 2 shots at it.
Alrighty, Aphrodite.
I'm gonna use the sharpshooter thing.
Okay. Now would be a good time for that. That definitely hits.
Okay, it was an extra 10 damage with a -5.
Yep. 18 also hits even after the -5.
Oh, buddy. Okay, so ready off the bat, that's 20 damage.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. And sneak attack because Katu is within range. So
Yes. And
11, 21 plus, what is that? 9, 19. 21 plus 19 is 40 damage. Extremely substantial bit of harm to this guy as you find 2 weak spots opening up immediately as the barrier drops and strike true. And you can tell even from this great distance that you have caused this thing grievous harm.
How much damage is that in total, sorry?
40.
40.
Jesus
40,
fuck,
you motherfucker.
okay. Hey, you made me this way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna take cover back here.
Sounds gravy.
Is this thing destroyed? No,
it
it's not.
is intact. The barrier is gone, but the,
That's fine. I'll just
Did you
chill
roll
out.
your
I'll just
Hunter's
bin.
Mark damage?
Oh, that's right.
I did not. You are correct.
2d6.
Thank you.
2d6. 4. Good shit. And
Another
4, yeah,
48.
nice. Oh boy,
48
he's starting to
in
look
total.
decently hurt.
All right, that's me.
Okay, Tarn.
Tarn can't make it to the emissary, so after he sees it teleport away, after he saw his shields drop, he's going to run over to this. He's going to dash to this orb,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to take 2 swings at it.
Hell yeah. 18 misses. 15 misses.
Ah, damn it. And that is my turn.
Yeah, sorry, buddies. End of your turn. The emissary is going to... Okay, as a bonus action, it's going to cast Inflict Wounds on you, Katu. So that is if it wants to roll. Oh, yep, first level. Okay, it's not a crit. That would be... It's not a crit, because it doesn't have advantage, but you take 18 points of necrotic damage as it reaches out and touches you, and your body withers. And the pain is exceptional. And then it's going to float around you. You get an attack of opportunity if you like.
Sure, why not?
Go ahead and swing for it. Its barrier is indeed back at this point. 22 just hits, though. Wow, nice. And you have Sentinel, don't you?
I do.
You motherfucker. Okay, cool. Alright, it ends its turn there. Go and roll damage. 16, reduced to 8 because it has resistance while the barrier is up. But that's still pretty fucking good. Doing a bit of damage, and more importantly, stopping it in its place. As it uses action to cast Dance Macabre. Reanimating 3 of the corpses. They have to be within 30 feet. If it was in the center, it would get all of them, but as it is, it only gets 2. So this corpse and this corpse are reanimated, and they become 1, a risen sentinel, percent numbered.
Ah, lovely.
The other is a risen hex caller, right next to Ish, also percent numbered, because my scripts hate me. Let me roll initiative for
Maybe
them.
you should treat your scripts better. Stop calling them ugly words.
Actually, they would, I think, per the spell, they act on the emissary's turn, so I'll just give them a 16 and 16. Rearrange, descending. Okay, so immediately as the spell takes hold, the sentinel rises as the corpse reanimates, and it grabs a halberd that was laying forgotten in its cage and rises up, and the chains snap away, and the cage flies open as it steps out, getting within range of you, Katu. And it's going to make 2 attacks.
Donuts.
21 and 26.
Both hit.
Alright, the first
And I will
attack.
save you from rolling damage. Kadu is going to go down to 0. 'Cause
Okay.
I've only got 3 hit points left, it doesn't matter.
Relentless endurance, baby. You're at 1 HP.
Relentless endurance indeed for the first hit.
Okay, and then the second hit
First hit.
hits you anyway. The second hit hits you, and you are dropped to, once again, to unconsciousness. However,
Well, he has the
Death
ring.
Ward ring.
Has the ring, so
The-
1 still.
Fucking Dr. D.
That's
Yeah, half orcs.
true.
Wait.
you have, alright, yeah, so the first hit strikes you in the chest, piercing through you, and the blood flows, and you feel your consciousness begin to give, and then you reassert yourself and stand up just as the halberd pulls out and strikes again, cuts you across, and that blow that is about to kill you and end your life, the ring on your finger flares, and you are saved as a barrier projects around you at the last second. You have 1 hit point. End of that guy's turn.
2 less than I had at the start of the turn.
You ate up 2 attacks, though. The Hex Collar right next to you is yours. Does not really want to be there right now. It's going to try to move away. You get a free attack if you like. 5, 10, 15, 20.
I would like.
Alright, go ahead. And it's going to go ahead and use its bonus action to put a Hex upon you. 12 misses, unfortunately. So Hex, it's not quite like the Warlock's Hex, but a Hex burns upon you and immediately sears into place on your chest, and you make a Constitution saving throw. Are you resistant to fire damage right now?
Cold.
Cold damage. Okay, you're resistant to cold damage. Yeah, so you take the full 10 points of fire damage. As this arcane rune burns itself onto your chest, searing through your armor, burning the skin beneath. Alright. That is the end of that guy's turn. The end of the emissary's turn. Kildor, it is your go.
Okay, then I will move up 30 feet. And I will cast Chromatic Orb at 2nd level.
Mm-hmm.
Using fire damage.
Okay. What are you targeting?
I'm targeting the orb that was fire shielded.
The orb. This one is frost shielded.
The one that was fired.
Oh, the one that was fired. Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
yeah.
I gotcha. Go ahead and make the attack roll. 27 hits. $20 Holy shit. Okay, yeah. Yeah. The chromatic orb strikes true, and the phylactery is destroyed. Roll a d6 for me. You want a high number on this? That's a pretty high number. Kildor. Immediately, as your flaming orb strikes the phylactery, and the flames seep into the cracks already opened by Katu's attacks and billow inside the mass of this thing, the orb explodes, and something, that thing that you thought long missing to you, is returned. As your mind is cleared, and suddenly, years and years and years of experience rush back into you. As you are now an 11th level wizard, baby.
Fuck off.
Oh, fuck me.
What? That is fucking sick.
Alexa, play Rip and Tear.
Yeah.
Can you add me to the campaign or give me a link?
Yeah.
Will Roll20 still roll stuff?
Yeah, it should, but let me go ahead and do that for you. Holy fuck. Okay, cool. Yeah, hang on just a sec. Well, hang on. Campaign, view campaign.
Alexa, play Despacito.
Alright, yep, go ahead and throw your guy in there. And at the end of your turn, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
I still have a bonus action, right?
You do, and your movement.
What absolute fuckery do you have in store?
That is all I can do.
Okay, yep, it's still, that is the end of your turn, so to speak. Do you want to move your spear around or move yourself at all?
Oh yeah, no, my sphere. I think it was already moved here, right, to slam into him.
Last I think so. Yep.
Yeah. So if I slam it into this one now.
Yeah. Okay. Make an attack roll. Just roll and make an intelligence check as you attempt to bounce yourself on the barrier here.
What with the flaming sphere? Yeah. Or...
Yep. Well, it's because the barrier complicates things a little bit. Make an intelligence check.
Make an intelligence check. No longer at disadvantage.
That's true. 10.
Okay.
The orb deflects off the barrier, unfortunately.
Okay,
Okay. Any movement for me?
No, I use my movement to move there.
All right. End of its turn. The emissary is going to use a legendary action. Use. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna use a spell siphon. Actually, it can't because that phylactery is destroyed. Never mind.
Aha.
Shit. Okay. I'm real sorry about this, Dave, but you're right there, and it sees you as a threat.
I was resigned to this as soon as the turn ended.
It's using Touch of Entropy against you.
Yep, that hits.
18 hits. You take 24 points of necrotic damage, and I need to make a charisma saving throw.
Focus charisma. Yeah.
6. Katu. The emissary raises its hand and plants it directly on your chest, and your body withers. Wrinkles form. Your red hair grows white at the tips, gain crow's feet, and most impactfully of all, you drop unconscious at the foot of these monstrosities.
How does the death thing work? As in, I presume a certain amount of damage would be an outright kill.
Yeah, if the damage you take exceeds your if like you go into negative hit points and then it exceeds your max. So if you were brought to negative 65, it would be an instant kill. But
Okay, great.
there's not much that can do that as of right now. But you are currently unconscious and making death saving throws.
Yep.
End of that legendary action. Let's see, what were we at? We were at. Oh right, I need to re-add you to the initiative. Mr. Kildor Uladon. What was your old initiative, Kildor? 14? We'll give you 14.
Yeah, okay, I was just after the emissary. So.
Alright, we come to Ish yours.
Oh, it's
Okay.
gone. The initiative is gone.
Let me put it back up.
I'm
Thank you.
going to move here, and I'm going to try and do an Indiana Jones with the orbs.
Okay. Yeah, immediately as you walk into this swirling barrier of frost, the frost parts around you and is instantly destroyed by your fire shield. And what are you trying to do again?
An Indiana Jones.
This orb is planted in the stone, Mr. Ish. It is bound in place by these stone brackets. It would take quite a bit of strength to pull it out of its place. You could try.
Yes.
Okay, make a strength check for me. You're gonna roll pretty fucking high for this, I'm gonna tell you.
Like 10?
20.
Like that?
That'll do it, baby! Okay, alright, cool. Fuck yeah. Alright. It takes both hands to do this, Ish. And you're a pretty buff fucking gnome. You have 15 strength, dude. Or 14, I can't remember. But
14.
you put both hands on the orb, and you grip, and you begin to pull. You don't know where you find the handholds on this thing. It's a fucking smooth, sheer crystal orb. Your grip should not be as sure and strong as it is, but it fucking is. And you pull and lift, put your back into it, put your legs into it. And with both hands raised high, you fucking wrench that whole orb out of its mooring, and you hold it above your head triumphantly. And then you toss it aside, and you put the orb of laughter in its place. And I will say, because you've ripped it out of its place, that disrupts the formation. You can consider that orb destroyed, but it's still intact. And in fact, yeah, I mean, the other orb's still there, but so it's the emissary's barrier is still maintained, but it is significantly weaker than when it started. Okay, cool. Anything else for your turn?
I think I've got a bit of movement left, so I will close the distance to that hex collar.
Okay, cool. That it for your turn?
Yes, that's it now.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the emissary is going to use its legendary action. It is going to... Yeah, it's going to warp step to... There's only one phylactery intact, actually. And it brings it right next to you guys. But you know what? It's going to do it anyway. There it is. Alright, Morish, it is your turn.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, tried and true, 2 Eldritch Blasts at the emissary.
Go for it.
He has his shield up now, right?
It does. He does. Yep. But it's pretty weak, so its AC is only 17 right now. 13 misses. 21 hits. It has resistance to this damage, and will until that last phylactery is destroyed. So 2 total plus your hex. Yeah, it's pretty badly hurt. So 3 damage total. But honestly, right now, that's still a pretty substantial amount of its hit points. Anything else for your turn, Moorish?
I'm gonna move a little bit. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okie dokie. Katsu, I need you to make a death save for me. Just a straight D20.
Oh,
That is 2 failed death saving throws.
Oof.
So you're getting pretty close there. Okay, at the end of your turn, it's gonna use its last legendary action on Destructive Pulse. Tarn and Kieran, and you make Constitution saving throws, DC 15. That's a success. That's a success. You both take 3 points of thunder damage, and you are not pushed back. Kieran, it's your turn.
Yes.
Shoot her!
I actually think I'm gonna skip my turn. Okay. Yeah, no, just fucking shoot him.
Fuck yeah.
Bam. Bam.
That'll hit. That'll
Bam.
also hit.
Bam.
Okay.
Bam.
Give me
Bam.
just a sec. So no sneak attack on this, because no creature's within 5 feet. 12 reduced to 6. 8 reduced to 4. So that's 10 damage total on both attacks. Looking pretty fucking hurt. Alright, because your hunter mark. Minus 3 more
Yeah,
hit
it's
points.
6.
That's
It's also piercing from hunters.
That's true. It has resistance. Its barrier is still technically intact, so it still has the resistance. But it is hurt. It's real fucking hurt. Anything else for your turn?
I'm thinking that's all I can do. 10,
Okay.
20, 30, 35. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Tarn.
Tarn sees it. You can see it's clearly a bit woozy, and he's just gonna center blood in his nose, just fucking get right next to him, around the orb, and then he's gonna swing twice.
Oakley dokley. 17 hits, just barely. That's so much fucking damage. Okay, 18. 18 on the first hit.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. All right. I forget how to calculate that crit exactly, but it's a lot. I know that.
Uh,
20 plus 2d8
3d8, 3d8 plus 8 plus 1d4.
and then
Slash
half.
roll. I mean, I'm not gonna make you roll for that, dude. How do you want to do this?
Tarn basically leapfrogs the orb, or like swings round it. As he comes round, he just drives his short sword into its side, and then he like comes back around on the spot. And as he comes back around, he just smashes it in the orb and its head with the spike on his shield.
Oh, nice.
Because I would have used the bonus attack to do the spike thing.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. As your blood red spike on your shield, you thrust it forward and you strike true directly in the center of its crystal head, directly behind where those glowing pinpricks for eyes would be. You drive the spike in, and for a moment, the thing goes still, skewered on the end of your shield, and then cracks shoot out all across the face of this crystal orb, and the two eyes, the two pinprick glowing lights, fade away, and then its head explodes in a shattering burst of force that pushes you back, throws you against the wall, nearly throws your weapons out of your hands, but you stabilize, hold strong and steady, and it falls to the ground, defeated, as a new carving emblazons itself on the face of your shield, Tarn.
Yes.
All right.
Are these guys still alive?
So Dave just sent me a message saying that because they're risen, they should keep risen, but Dance Macabre ends when the caster dies, so, I mean, I literally cannot do that if I want to stick to the rules as written, Mr. Dave.
I was just saying, I was only saying it in case you were tempted to be charitable. Don't be. Just play it.
Yep. Always the masochist, Dave, always looking to hurt yourself, but no,
It's okay, it's okay, Dave. You can roll one last death save and see.
Yeah. I would say you guys would have to act quick on Katsu. But yeah, the Sentinels or the Risen Undead immediately. Yeah, that would kill you, Dave. That would kill you.
Does Moorish have Ish have ranged healing? Because no one else can get to him otherwise.
I have ranged healing. I also have something that can revive him if he's dead within a minute.
I would.
I was
I can
gonna say
dash him,
for
actually.
my next turn.
Katu would
I
go
was gonna rush-
absolutely ape shit if you revived
I
her.
was gonna do
Bear that
my
in
next
mind.
turn to
Yes.
use my movement and then miss.
Which
the
is
step
precisely why
today.
Coach would do it.
Yes.
I know.
All right.
Well,
I mean, let's see.
So I
So-
was gonna use my bonus action next turn to Misty Step over and then move into Dave. Anyway, to start hitting that Sentinel.
Yeah, I mean, you guys share the same initiative, and Katu's at the very end, so you guys would act before. If we were going in turn order, it would be before the death save happens. So either of you can act first. Ish or Moorish. Moorish, you have the higher deck, so I guess you could go first.
Yeah, I mean,
Misty Step over.
Yeah.
And then what? Healing potion or?
yeah.
All right, yeah, easy enough. As you make your way to Katu, who is bleeding out on the floor, unconscious, teleporting in a puff of mist, and then bend down and pop the healing potion in her mouth, and she regains. It doesn't matter too much, but I'll roll 2d4 plus 2. Oh, nice. Full 10
down.
hit points.
Nice.
Good for you, buddy. All right. Yeah. As
That
you
was
all stand here in this
fucking
tunnel, the
intense.
corpse of this thing dead before you, silence falling, the last phylactery also, the light in it dims out. You've actually left 2 of them intact for whatever purposes you think you might have for crystal orbs filled with the harvested minds of mages. Kildor, you stand there. Your posture is straight, ramrod straight, and dignified. Your clothing is still much as it was, disheveled and ragged and bloodied, but you look and survey this room with a dignity that was not previously there, and your mind swirling with arcane equations and knowledge you thought lost to you.
I will move up onto this pillar, look
Alrighty.
around and survey the scene, and you have restored my mind. I can see clearly now.
The rain has been.
MS.
Sorry.
I can see all the obstacles.
Sorry.
in my
I'm
way.
sorry. I'm sorry.
The emissary tried to destroy my entire mind and contain it within these phylacteries. But as you have seen the power in my own eye, I was able to at least partially stop his damage.
So you're some. So we did the thing you asked for. Yes, the crystals are gone. You seem pretty sane now.
Yes, my mind is fully restored.
Where did you come from? What happened?
One second, let me get this right. I am a member of the Dwendalian Empire. I call Zadash my home, and I work in the Silken Terrace as part of the Scholars. I was ventured out here in search of ancient magics, and was brought by the emissary's power. I came here to research him and accompanied me a big expedition. They were all lost when we were ambushed.
By the plant things.
Yes. And from my research also shows a mind stalker.
Yeah, I think we got that motherfucker.
Yeah, we kind of killed one of those.
Unfortunately, I was the only one to survive.
Well. Shit.
All right.
will you do
so
now?
What? Yeah. What now?
What is it that you seek?
Molasmere. And Adrian Lux.
What would I know of this verb?
Well, you are a member of the Cerberus Assembly, Kildor. You know of Adrian and his mission. You know his motives. You know his goals. You know that he seeks the city himself, the city these guys have just named, Malleus Mere. And I would say that... I would say that you are aware that his motive for seeking out the city is not entirely just for the artifacts and the knowledge and what have you. You know that Adrian has gone a little bit off the deep end in the last few months, a little bit obsessed with interplanar forces, demons and devils, the abyss, the elemental planes, places beyond this world. And that in recent months, he has somehow come to the conclusion that Malleus Mere is the key to all of his intersecting theories. You know that he has devised some way of breaching the barrier that surrounds the city. It lies in the ruin that he is making his way toward. And I would say you also know that that key comes from the use of precious artifacts related to the outer planes. Supposedly, each of them has some sort of similar to the phylacteries in this very room, where you had to strike them with a force of elemental magic that matches with, you know, their barrier. Each artifact that he has collected is keyed to one element or the other, and that somehow he plans to use them to destroy the barrier. And I would say you convey all of this to the group, taking some time to sit and talk with them, recover after the battle. The corpses all around you, several of you still injured, quite grievously, Kotzer especially.
Although we work towards a common goal, I have not worked directly with him. War is brewing, and I was sent to research ways we could fight this war. As was he.
What was it, verb? I think that Kieran would know. I can't remember it on top of my head.
What specifically?
The war with the Gwendalian Empire fighting.
There is indeed a war that is, well, not quite broken out yet, but tensions are very high between the Dundalian Empire and the Kreen dynasty to the east, past the mountains. This empire of sort of bestial races like drow, goblins, bugbears, and other such quote-unquote monstrous races conglomerated together. War has not yet broken out, but it's anticipated as an inevitability.
Okay.
We do not know if this war will come to pass, but we are preparing nonetheless.
He needs to be stopped. Is there anything you can do to aid us?
I don't know, is there verb?
Well, it depends, right? As a member of the Cerberus Assembly, you are sworn to essentially aid other members. You are under oath not to act directly against Adrian's interests, and certainly he's no enemy of yours. Let's see. Let me check your spell list. Send me your character sheet. Actually, just your features and stuff. Actually, he should be in the campaign at this point,
Yeah,
right?
he's in the campaign. Yeah, you can see him.
Yeah, let me check. Oh, yeah. There is one thing. Katu, even now as we speak, there are vines growing beneath your skin.
Didn't we get rid of them?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got rid of
they
those.
got-
Yeah,
they got rid of
them.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, never mind.
If you
Let's
wanna,
see.
if you wanna trigger something, the voices in Maurice's head have been quite quiet.
They have been quiet, but there hasn't been an opportunity for them to strike out.
Leave me alone.
No.
Morris is gonna run away.
You can't run from the voices in your head, Maurice.
You know what they say during a near-death experience, or just after a near-death
I
experience?
wasn't near death. I was fine.
All right.
Morris is fit and
Uh,
healthy.
I've given you what
can remember
knowledge I can. Any more assistance, I could be branded as a traitor, but as thank you for your help in returning my mind, I have told you what I know. As I said, we work towards a common goal, but our objectives are very different. If you thought for any reason, is it Adrian?
Adrian.
Adrian might be working against the Dwendalian Empire, you could seek out the Cerberus Assembly, but you would have to show proof of this. He is a respected member after all.
Okay. Thank you for your help.
All right.
You're most welcome. And I will sit down on the floor on this pillar
Mhm.
and start to etch out some sigils.
Mhm. For your getaway, I assume.
Yeah.
All right. A minute of relative silence passes. The rest of you standing aside, getting your bearings, just recovering. And as a last action, Kildor finishes inscribing the circle upon the center of this place. This area is rich with magic of its own kind, necromantic in nature, though now that the emissary is dead, those of you who are attuned with magic would sense it, almost like a sense of atmosphere in the air, as this raw magical energy sort of almost seems to form like a shield. The Savalier Wood is densely corrupted with the taint of what happened to it 1200 years ago, but this keep, for whatever reason, perhaps because of that raw concentration of magical energy, is shielded from it. And the teleportation that would normally be disrupted by a place like this is not. As Keldor Uladon finishes his circle on the stone, and with one final wave to you all and perhaps a struck bow, disappears. And that is where we will end our session for tonight.
Awesome.
Can I not rifle the emissary's pockets with that 16
Yeah, I was
quickly?
gonna say.
Oh, you fucking loot whores.
We love it.
Yeah.
Do I find anything with the 20?
You're in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I did write. I remember I wrote one thing.
I
Yes.
caught Matey's body on the way down. Me first.
Yeah. Go ahead and add the emissary's heart to your inventory, Tarn.
Okay.
All right.
That was
All
awesome,
right.
Verb. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. You're
Yes,
quite
we-
welcome.
And thanks for coming along, Vox. That was sick.
That was a
Yeah.
sick encounter.
Yeah, it was good.
I had a lot of fun with that one. Holy shit! So many fucking counter spells, man. There must have been like 8 of them.
I
guys.
counter spell your count spell. No, you
That-
don't.
God.
Tarn, if you hadn't have killed him, oh my god, I would have blown him the fuck up.
As an 11 level wizard, do you get
7th level
dis-
spells.
have you got
isn't it?
have you got
I get
disintegrate?
Up to 6
No.
level spells.
Six.
Yeah, I get 6th. So
let's
I
see.
had Investiture of Flame, which is mostly around me, but I was gonna cast either Immolation, which
Just like a snap of your fingers, just by.
is like that.
Oh my god.
Ah,
Oh my god.
That's a lot of damage, dude.
Yeah,
Basically gonna go full Dumbledore mode.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been pretty fucking sick.
Awesome.
He was gonna get blown the fuck up.
Thank you, Unfortunate. I'll catch you on
If
the
you'd
next one.
survived one more turn, if
Bye.
you hadn't fucking killed him, Tarn,